The new round of strikes. Here's ABC's Karen Travers.
That blockade had been lifted because of the deal that the U.S. and Iran signed last month. The president said, I gave them a chance, referring to Iran, but we have seen those continued strikes by Iran at commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz. And now we've seen CENTCOM say that there have been another round of U.S. strikes aimed at degrading Iran's capabilities to attack commercial ships in the Strait.
Taco Bell says it's voluntarily removing some ingredients temporarily at select locations as a precaution due to the parasitic outbreak in multiple states. The company says public health officials have not confirmed a link between cyclosporiasis cases and any specific grower or restaurant. Michigan cases now top 3,000. State health officials say early results show a link to lettuce or produce. And the sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham sworn in today to fill his term. This is ABC News. A prominent genetic testing company settling a major case brought by a bipartisan coalition of 43 state attorneys general.
23andMe has agreed to pay out $18 million to settle a case over a data breach that exposed the personal genetic information of nearly 7 million people. Much of that data wound up for sale on the dark web, putting people at risk of being hacked or having their identities stolen. The settlement also includes requirements for the company to implement stricter data privacy measures. 23andMe filed for bankruptcy last year and was eventually sold to a nonprofit created by 23andMe's former CEO. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Dangerous flooding continuing to impact hard-hit communities in the South and Southwest. More rain is on the way. In Texas, some areas are bracing for up to 6 inches of rainfall by Thursday. Heat also affecting a large swath of the country. More than 125 million Americans on alert from coast to coast. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
A nervous week for wildfire forecasters. More on that coming up. But first, here's Nate with real-time traffic.
And this one's brought to us by the KIRO Newsradio App. Let's start you with a new collision in Fife at South 5 at 54th Avenue, blocking 2 left lanes, including the HOV. And you're backed up to State Route 18. That's a pretty thick backup. Federal Way to Tacoma right now. We're pushing 25 minutes. Here in Seattle, South 5 jams up from Lake City Way to I-90, 25 minutes from Linwood. North 5 scattered backups on the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. Remember, Revive I-5 is back, so 2 right lanes are blocked at the Ship Canal Bridge. Plan on 20 minutes to get through downtown. South 405 slow from 520 to the Renton Landing. Another backup down in South Center, about a half hour from Bellevue to South Center. And southbound 167 bumper to bumper already from State Route 18 through Sumner. Otherwise, no surprises out there. We're looking at very typical backups. Text APP to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. You can listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
At 3:03, good afternoon, I'm Tim Hole. Fire officials in Washington nervously watching this week's hot and dry weather forecast. Hot temperatures and possible thunderstorms with lightning are an unwelcome mix, especially in eastern Washington. Ryan Rodbrook with the State Department of Natural Resources says you can do your part to keep sparks off the landscape.
We need to make sure that we are respecting those burn bans where they are in place, keeping as many sparks off the landscape as possible. And if you live in an area that's prone to wildfire, make sure that you are hardening your property against that potential wildfire threat.
Rodbrook says it's important to be aware of local burn bans, campfire safety, and when to call 911 if you see smoke. Meantime, King County is rolling out a new wildfire preparedness toolkit as fire danger grows here in western Washington. The guide explains how to protect your home by clearing flammable vegetation, cleaning roofs and gutters, and trimming trees away from buildings. It also urges families to make an evacuation plan, pack a go bag, and learn the county's Ready, Set, Go evacuation levels. Washington's new income tax on the state's wealthiest residents is headed for a political showdown. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports on the repeal campaign now underway, and Governor Bob Ferguson's urging voters to reject it.
Supporters of Initiative 645 have launched a statewide signature drive to repeal Washington's new millionaire's tax. Governor Ferguson is rallying opposition to that initiative, arguing the tax is needed to support families and businesses.
What I worry about is we won't have the resources to fund critical programs when people need them, right? That's what I worry about.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The Secretary of State's office is working to verify signatures from Brian Haywood's group Let's Go Washington, which turned in more than 500,000 earlier this month. He told John Curley last month it was surprisingly easy to get people to sign.
It suggests something much bigger is going on here than I think Olympia planned on, right? People are more pissed off about this than Olympia was hoping for.
If about 309,000 of the signatures are verified, the initiative will be on the November ballot. King County Prosecutor Lisa Mannion is pushing state lawmakers to pass a bill cracking down on copper wire theft, which she says has a tremendous impact on the community.
This victim was beaten very viciously. It's unknown if there were tools or weapons involved or if it was just physically by hand.
She says the bill would require recyclers to photograph any copper wire brought in for sale and give law enforcement the authority to seize suspected stolen wire and trace it back to thieves. She says it's much like the catalytic converter law that took effect last year. The bill was introduced this past session but didn't pass. Mannion expects it to be approved in 2027. At 3:05, your forecast calls for clear skies tonight and a low of 58. Lots more sunshine tomorrow and a few degrees warmer, 84 for the high on Wednesday. Chance of showers Thursday, then partly sunny by the afternoon, 74, and then 78, and partly sunny on Friday. I'm Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Come on.
I am going to be working on our behalf.
Oh, good.
I am going to be telling the stories on our behalf.
Yes.
And you better believe I'm going to be doing it with a little bit of joy, a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of energy, and a little bit of stick it to them.
Yeah, baby. That's our new intern we got. She's great. 57-year-old gal she's from Milwaukee, I believe.
That's right.
She is on fire.
Because that's the Michigan way.
Oh, I'm sorry, Michigan.
That's
sorry,
right.
that's right. Whoopsie. Okay, here we go with John Curley. Already some nonsense right off the top.
Come on, guys.
Come on. Better than that. Not really. Diving into the and a listener write me. I actually I give out my phone number to people all the time. There he goes. The only reason I continue to listen to your show is because they're just going to see at what point it goes totally off the rails. So we're right on the edge. He goes, I just want to see we just completely flip and just don't give a flying it whatever you say.
Shouldn't take long.
Tune in. It's Joe's fault. It is. There you go, Gasiola. It's Joe's fault.
Come on.
Yeah, because he's the one like, oh, you believe that? You believe that too? Well, why don't you believe this? Marriage therapists will tell you that after infidelity, it takes 3 years for the spouse who's been cheated upon to be able to begin to regain some trust in the relationship. If there's a violation within that 3-year time, it'll take 5 years. And then if there's violations within the 5 years, the trust will never be regained. And the relationship is pretty much over. The violations along the way are small and almost seemingly insignificant, but every time they occur, it creates a flashback to the original discovery of the distrust. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because now, because of the government has, and media, two combined, they're both the same basically, have been telling us stuff so often, so many things, that now when somebody like Lindsey Graham, whose father died at the age of 69 from a heart attack, dies, I'm going to go with the news story, Joe, sorry.
Sucker.
In his home of a heart attack, we're told, nope, that didn't happen. And by the way, if you believe they died there, you should probably also check and see if Mitch McConnell is still, quote unquote, alive. Every one of these stories, all the time, constantly. In fact, the conspiracy theories that are posted on social media get 14 times the sharing of any other type of story that somebody posts on social media. So there's just thousands and thousands of these things flying around, and everyone gets a chance to be somewhat affected by them, whether it's like a car driving by, running through a puddle of water, splashes up onto your pants or shoes, or you just dive into it. Let's see, is this on Lindsey Graham? Like something like this. So here's Larry Johnson talking about Lindsey Graham.
Why? You want to admit that you're the number one senator proponent of Ukraine died in Ukraine in the aftermath of Russian military strikes? All I can tell you is I've also heard from people who had access to the Pentagon, to generals in the command center, National Military Command Center. They were walking around talking today saying he died in Kyiv.
Okay, and because the guy's a former CIA operative, everybody's like, well, this guy's legit, right? Or you judge him by his haircut or the number of tattoos that he has, or whether he's wearing a beanie. Alex Jones, didn't even need to play him. How about here, Mitch McConnell? Is he still alive? Senator Ron Johnson on Real America.
Can we talk a little Mitch McConnell, too? Because I saw a picture that I'm not sure I believe is actually Mitch McConnell from the hospital after what I've heard and what I've seen. Do you believe Mitch McConnell is the one who said, I'm okay, here's the picture of my wife, Elaine Chao, and I in that hospital bed?
Well, I just heard from some other source that was an older photo. So I really don't know. I haven't talked to Mitch.
See, the problem is I don't know how the government gets people's trust back, and I don't know how the media gets the trust back as well, assuming they're both sort of working together. The media's in the passenger seat. The government's driving the bus or whatever it is. Like, remember the Tuskegee syphilis test, right? So 400 men that had syphilis, they were black. I think this was started in 1932 to 1972. They already had syphilis. The government came along and said, oh, we're going to give you different drugs to make sure you get better. We're going to see how you do. They basically weren't giving them anything at all. They just sat there and watched them slowly die from syphilis. They wanted to see what all the effects are. So you get 400 black men that had syphilis. The government doesn't admit to it until, like, I think 1972 becomes public. At that point, 80% of black men, when asked, do you trust the government and do you trust medical institutions, they said no, which directly affected how many black men ended up going to the hospital or going to a doctor from the time this news was released. So it does have serious effects upon other people when the trust breaks down. And it's been happening. You could just go back and look at anything. MK Ultra, right? The use of LSD, which the government denied for all those times, 1953 to 1973, use of LSD. A thing called COINTELPRO. From 1956 to 1971, they ended up spying on Martin Luther King. Denied that the whole time. That ends up to be true. Here's one I found. I had never seen this one, but it's amazing. You start digging around. You ready for this? Remember there was some problem. A lot of people in the United States were not so big on the Iran war. And George Bush Sr., George H.W. needed to sell America on it. So then everyone was riveted by this little girl with her tearful testimony.
Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, my name is Naira, and I just came out of Kuwait. My sister, with my 5-day-old nephew, traveled across the desert to safety. There was no milk available for the baby in Kuwait. They barely escaped when their car was stuck in the desert sand, and help came from Saudi Arabia. I stayed behind and wanted to do something for my country. The second week after an invasion, I volunteered at the Al-Adan hospital with 12 other women.
By the way, I'm going to just cut ahead. I'm going to play the rest of it. But you ready for this? This is all total and absolute bull. This is the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador to the U.S. who had been coached, and they wrote the monologue by a PR firm in Washington, D.C. So now enjoy the rest.
Who wanted to help as well. I was the youngest volunteer.
That's a lie.
The other women were from 20 to 30 years old. While I was there, I saw the Iraqi soldiers come into the hospital with guns.
All lies.
They took the babies out of the incubators.
That's good. Cry.
Took the incubators and left the children to die on the cold floor.
Really?
It was horrifying. I could not help but think of my nephew.
Oh.
Naira's testimony was rebroadcast across the country and marked a turning point in public opinion on going to war. President George H.W. Bush repeatedly cited her claims.
They had kids in incubators, and they were thrown out of the incubators so that Kuwait could be systematically dismantled.
3 months after Naira testified, President George H.W. Bush launched the invasion of Iraq.
Okay. I'm not saying because of the girl's testimony they went into war.
Keep playing it.
Here we go.
But it turned out Nayira's claims weren't true.
Yeah, I said all this.
No human rights group or news outlet could confirm what she said. It also turned out Nayira was not just any Kuwaiti teenager.
Yeah, she was the
She
ambassador's
was the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador
Yes.
to the United States.
Yeah. I mean, so, like, if you want to regain the trust of the American people, and that's why people just don't believe the stuff that comes up. We've become a low-trust society. I don't know if we're as bad as the former USSR or Russia is now, or Somalia, or any other place where the truth is whatever anybody pays it to be, and somebody wants to believe it for whatever reason somebody wants to believe it. But the reason we now is, when did Lindsey Graham die, and who's next, and what's this and what's that? Once you get into a thing where you don't trust anything that anybody says, then it has to all be relationship-based, right? You have to know the other person. You have to see the other person, look them in the eye, and you have to try to regain some trust, some beginning where you trust the person. But everything now, if there's not one story that comes out. Like, for instance, let's do this one. So Charlie Kirk is shot, right, with a .30-06 from that distance. No one has ever been able to, there's no way, he had a superhuman bone. And why isn't there an exit wound? Let's see, has anyone ever been shot with something similar to a .30-06 from that distance away and been hit and there was no exit wound? Let me think for a moment. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. hit with almost the same type of round. It struck him in the jaw. It entered in, went down, it bounced off his clavicle, and then shattered into pieces and went down into parts of his lung, into part of the heart. I think was also damaged. But it strikes the part of the jaw, goes down, breaks up into pieces, and goes in there. So, exit wound on Martin Luther King Jr.? No. Exit wound on Charlie Kirk? No. Is it possible the bullet fragmented and went in, bounced off a bunch of stuff, like same way with Martin Luther King? Sure. But all you need to do is create just a little bit of distance, just a little bit of skepticism. Then that's when the people rush in with like, well, how about this? And of course, nobody can step in and be the authority on any of this, because then you just go, oh yeah, well, you lied about this, you lied about this, you lied about that. Joe, I'm just saying is you have to put all possibilities on the table. Stop looking at me like that. Screw you.
Listen, I'm with you. You. It's just funny that the 30-06 example is from the guy who recanted his confession and said that he was a pawn, he was an escaped fugitive, and he was a pawn in a broader conspiracy to kill Martin Luther King. And who would have a bigger interest in killing Martin Luther King than some random guy that escaped from prison? Maybe it's the same people that, tapped his phones and, ran PR campaigns against him.
You don't believe Ray did it?
Well, I'm just saying.
Listen, whoever fired, listen to this. Whoever fired the round.
Yeah.
I'm saying just generally.
Right.
I don't, once it leaves the end of the rifle, right? Boom, goes. I'm just saying hits him in the jaw. I think it's in the right side of his jaw. And then from there down to the shoulder, and then from all the damage done as it breaks up.
See, I trust those YouTube videos when they're shooting at like cows and stuff, or fake medical dummies, more than I trust the forensics from 1969 into the death of Martin Luther King Jr.
Yo, you believe that?
I'm with you though. I'm with you. It's hard to,
And they show them hitting the different types of gel.
Yes, those are
the
great.
20 gel and the 10 gel. The 20 was established for police. How far in the round to go. The 20 is done by NATO to determine how far in the round goes as well. So one is a little denser than the other. And, so the Geneva Convention and how far in can the round go, trying to get in, I think, 8 inches or centimeters on each one. That's why the two different type of gels are established. One that was set up by the police and the other was set up by NATO. So, but yeah, everybody's got a conspiracy theory. They're all out there. There'll be no way, because how do you ever put the genie back in the bottle and start to regain the trust? One way of doing it is to admit it. If the government, on a whole bunch of stuff, would come out and say, yep, we lied to you about this. Yep, the media, we screwed you over and we did it intentionally. Look at all the people that have measles. Oh, measles, Washington State Department of Health. Oh, measles. How many people have gotten the measles in the United States this year? 2,400, or somewhere in there. How many people have died?
Can I answer that?
Yes.
The answer is 0.
Thank you.
Ooh, nice, Nate.
Thank you, Nate. But Nate knew that ahead of time in class. So this is now we've got where's Lindsey Graham's body? Where Trump explaining Lindsey Graham's health. Oh my God.
Are you aware of why the FBI is looking into Senator Graham's death?
Well, I don't know why, because I think, he had a problem. His father had a very similar problem, as you know.
What, the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation?
30 agents.
Is it 30?
At his house, pulling out boxes.
It's very unique. At first I heard it was clogged arteries, because he did have clogged arteries. He had a problem with that. He was, I wish he took better care of himself. I say, you can solve that problem, but what happened is actually something that's very hard to detect. It was not related to any blockage. It was a totally different thing. And
it was very hard to detect.
Yes, but he also said it's a very easy problem to fix, but
supposedly, and I've watched all the medical reports, I've had the doctors from the White House come in and explain what happened. Mm-hmm. And this is something that is almost undetectable. And if it happens, there's not much you can do about it. It sounds unfortunate.
That is true.
Well, he said he could have prevented this by taking better care of his health, but you can't do anything about it.
Well, okay, but listen, Donald Trump the president is not always best about, connecting every single sentence together.
But there's not much you can do about it. If you look at his father died of the same thing at about the same age. So there was not much. They say it's almost undetectable. You can detect it by if you have a very bad back. That's a sign. It's a bad sign.
Yeah, I get it.
So if anybody has a bad back, it's a pretty rough thing to think about, but the fact that's one of the primary signs, and he would tell me he had a bad back, but little did anyone realize it was for that. So, and when that bursts, which it did, it burst, there's not much. So I don't see a lot of evil there. I know there's all sorts of conspiracy theories going along, and I don't think the FBI, I think the FBI is wasting their time if they're doing that.
I feel some sort of allegiance to the guy because he reminds me so much of myself in school when you'd be caught going up to the front of the class to do your book report, which I hadn't read.
Oh, this book, which is full of pages.
Ernest Hemingway, who wrote Old Man in the Sea, he's an old man. You're just working everything off the title. You're just scraping the title for anything you can get.
There's a lot in that title. Actually.
He's at sea, and he's old. So that's not the best place to be if you're old at sea. So he's did I mention he's at sea? So he's actually on a boat, I think. At some point.
Ding ding.
He's not flying. He's not swimming. I don't think. Maybe in the author's mind, they had to throw in extra stuff.
And now you
yes,
know
thank you.
The rest of the story.
Exactly. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic, and this is the truth.
Yes, it is. Harborstone Credit Union has the update. Let's start in Fife, where we have this collision ongoing. South 5 at 54th is blocking 2 left lanes, and your backup starts at South 320th at State Route 18. This turns into a parking lot. Federal Way to Tacoma has jumped to a 40-minute commute. That's a 25-minute delay already. Further down the road, southbound 705 at South 5 there in Tacoma. Looks like we've got a new crash on the on-ramp. Southbound 167 is packed between State Route 18 and Sumner. Renton to Puyallup along the Valley Freeway is at 45 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia is looking great, though, taking just 35 minutes, pretty much wide open down the entire stretch. Over to Tiger Mountain, westbound 18, we're seeing a 3-mile bumper-to-bumper backup heading up the summit, starting at the Raging River. Here in Seattle, South 5, we're packed from Lake City Way to I-90, half hour from Linwood in the downtown. Southbound 99 heavy from South Lake Union to the stadiums, and North 5, we're seeing scattered backups between the West Seattle Bridge and Ship Canal Bridge. Earn up to $30 per month just for using your Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today at harborstone.com/cash. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate Connors. That's right. Parts of the house are not functioning correctly. It could be the garage or the pantry. Maybe there's some storage that just isn't quite storing anything. A home office, stuff's all over the floor, on the box, in boxes. Mudroom is very muddy. There's no place to put any of the boots or shoes or anything that's brought into the house because the storage is kind of the last thing that people think about when they're building. It should be the first thing you think about when you notice, geez, look there's just stuff everywhere. If you like to be able to have a place for everything and everything in its place, probably the best place for you is Closets by Design. They send a designer to your house. I can tell you from personal experience when they came to the barn there in Cleella. The designer comes in, Nick explains what we'd like, and at that point, well, the expertise of 22 years, family-run business takes over. They know exactly. They're coming up with ideas we'd never thought of before and making them all affordable as well. So total customization for you, and you get all the storage that you want, and everything has its place. ClosetsByDesign.com. That's ClosetsByDesign.com. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
30 years ago,
I wanted to be part of keeping the Seahawks in Seattle long term.
3 decades later,
12, they're bringing the trophy home.
2 Super Bowl championship banners hang in the stadium Paul Allen built. Now, a new era of stewardship begins.
Most things that seem impossible become possible.
And we welcome the Khosla family to Seattle. From the home of the Seahawks since the very beginning, KIRO News Radio.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call Nunn Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Carrie injured her back years ago. This is her story.
My herniated disc was so significant that they did the first surgery, the laminectomy and a microdiscectomy. The first surgery failed, and I ended up with another herniated disc, which is pretty typical that herniations just move up your spine. The doctor was recommending another fusion surgery, so I researched alternative therapies. Sound Pain Solutions developed a plan that included bioelectric therapy, laser therapy, decompression, pressure wave therapy, in addition to rehab. Once we started that comprehensive approach, it went phenomenally. They honestly have given me my life back, and I'm happy to help other patients find Sound Pain Solutions sooner.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance.
And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
At 3:30, good afternoon. I'm Tim Hole. Daylight savings time is one step closer to being permanent. Today, the U.S. House approved the Sunshine Protection Act. Washington Democratic Senator Patty Murray has been pushing this for years. The bill would eliminate the need to change our clocks twice a year.
This is a burden and a headache we don't need.
President Trump agrees. He's also urged Congress to pass the bill. It now moves on to the Senate. Washington's fight over the state's new millionaires tax is heating up. A repeal campaign is now officially underway, and Governor Bob Ferguson is urging voters to reject it.
It's essentially a choice between moving our state forward by making life more affordable for Washingtonians and giving 138,000 business owners a tax break.
Supporters of I-645 have launched that statewide signature drive to repeal the millionaire's tax. They turned in 500,000 signatures, and if 309,000 are certified, Washington voters will decide the future of that tax in November. King County Sheriff says her deputies are not working with federal immigration agents on routine matters. Patty Cole Tyndall says the department has clear instructions for deputies on how to handle contacts with ICE.
We do not cooperate with ICE for administrative matters.
Cole Tyndall says deputies will only assist when there's a judge-signed court order in a criminal case. She says the county has joined lawsuits challenging federal grant conditions tied to immigration cooperation. Meantime, earlier today, ICE ordered agents to temporarily refrain from most vehicle stops during enforcement nationwide. The change follows 2 fatal shootings involving ICE agents in the past week. Well, it wasn't Team USA versus Belgium, but it was an all-American showdown in the San Juan Islands. Deer Harbor Marina sharing video of a great blue heron squaring off against a bald eagle on the waterfront last week. Here's part of what it sounded like. The marina joked the score was heron 1, eagle nothing. After the heron appeared to win the battle for the perch, no referees needed, just plenty of feathers. As for the actual World Cup, Spain into the finals after a 2-0 victory over France. Argentina plays England tomorrow for the other spot in the finals. At 3:32, to the real-time traffic desk we go. Here's Nate.
Hey, thanks, Tim. Down in Fife, we've got this ongoing collision, South 5 at 54th. Taking up 2 left lanes. Our bumper-to-bumper backup now starts at South 320th. Federal Way to Tacoma is up to a 45-minute commute, what normally takes you just 15 minutes. At southbound 705 at the ramp to South 5 in Tacoma, it's a stall blocking the right lane at the on-ramp. South 5 in Seattle, we're packed from Lake City Way to I-90, half hour from Linwood. Southbound 99, a good alternate. It is heavy from about mid-Lake Union to the stadiums. North 5, scattered backups between the West Seattle Bridge and Ship Canal Bridge, pushing a half hour now to clear this. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is at 40, and Everett to Marysville has climbed to a 20-minute commute. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Next date, your forecast. Clear skies overnight tonight with a low down to 57. Sunny with a few clouds and 84 tomorrow. Chance of showers by Thursday morning, but partly sunny by the afternoon, 76. Partly sunny Friday at 78. Right now it's 84 in Seattle. I'm Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home Comfort Alliance, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. All there for you at home. ComfortAlliance.com. What are you doing over there? Home Comfort. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. All are welcome. Calling an audible. We were supposed to talk about explosive diarrhea.
Oh, we will.
Really?
It's coming.
This is a nothing story.
Oh, that's what you think. See?
No, we're skipping it for a moment. We're putting it on the back burner, the explosive diarrhea story. The other one is that Joe said, as we go to the break, what if, which one do you like, Alex Jones, number 2,
the
3?
second clip.
Second clip. Okay. So this is the idea, we're back into the rabbit hole again. If Lindsey Graham was killed in the attack of the drone factory there in Kiev, then what would happen if that were the case? Then they get a I mean, this stuff here, I think it's like, okay, then they're going to fly his body back, and then somebody has to call 911. Then there's only video of him in the ambulance. Even that, that's been doctored, whatever. But Alex Jones tries. Well, I can't believe we're going to Alex Jones.
Well, this is a hypothetical.
All right, it's all hypothetical.
The 48-hour death timeline is too wild to ignore. Number 1, Graham meets Zelensky, tours a hidden drone manufacturing facility in Kiev. Hours later, the Russian Ministry of Defense launches a devastating missile attack, completely obliterating that exact factory. 3, simultaneously, Russian precision missiles a bit later leveled a high-profile hotel in Kiev packed with top NATO commanders where Graham was reportedly staying. 4, Graham instantly dies suddenly right after returning home. He wanted to bring hellish sanctions, close quote, to Russia, but looks like he went straight to hell. The Russians right. Did a Russian strike catch him in the drone factory or NATO hotel, or did someone in Washington send him there knowing the missiles were coming? And to be clear, they hit the factory hours after he was reportedly in it, but at the same time hit the hotel. So this is serious, folks.
Okay. Well, first of all, where is he getting the information that Russia hit that hotel?
That I don't know. I hadn't read about that.
All right, whatever. Let's assume for Alex Jones, for the sake of talking on the radio before another commercial comes in.
So,
go ahead.
If in some timeline,
Andrew, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Get ready. Here comes Joe.
In some timeline, if Lindsey Graham was killed in Kyiv, visited by the Russians, why would it be in America's best interest to keep a lid on that, or to maybe just slightly tell a little fib to the American people about when and where he died?
So you have two options, right? At this point, you have America then responds to the fact that the Russians intentionally killed him, or killed a standing senator, right?
I would say, in either case, but you did say yesterday that he had bragged about being on
2023, he was put on the kill list by Putin.
Okay.
And Lindsey Graham said, I'll meet you at The Hague, right? I'm honored to be on the list. What would they do? All right, so there's two choices. The United States decides to completely ignore it and come up with some sort of thing and say that he had a heart attack at home. Why? Because is their hand forced? Well, that's the question. Would the United States then have to say, well, hey, you killed one of our senators. You did it intentionally. Now we're going to have to do what? That's the great thing about nuclear weapons. They're a great deterrent because really? He was 72, so you really want to go to war? That's why people have nuclear weapons. And it doesn't fire off Article 5. Article 5 was established that if one country is attacked that's part of NATO, then all the countries kick in. The only time they've ever kicked in Article 5 was right after September 11th. So the idea that all of a sudden, you could do sanctions, you could say, oh, this is just another terrible thing. But the United States is not going to all of a sudden start trying to go in there and directly go in and start fighting Russia? They got enough trouble with Iran.
Which is essentially they're allied with Russia as well.
Yes. So no, they're not going to all of a sudden go, oh, they killed. Because that could be one thing. You could have, a forces to the White House. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to Russia? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You get a whole bunch of pressure on the president. You get what steps are you going to take? Now you're going to have to answer for this for somehow. Now it's vulnerable. Now he seems vulnerable. I thought you supported and you love this guy, Lindsey Graham, and he's your guy. And how can you just let the Russians kill him and you don't do anything in return? And then all of a sudden he looks weak. Best to control the narrative, if this is the case, and simply say, well, he died of a heart attack. That way you don't have to deal with any of it. You don't have to answer any of those questions. Let it go.
So in other words, it would be in America's best interest if Lindsey Graham did not die in Ukraine.
Absolutely.
Due to the Russians.
Why? It's just one more unfortunate wrinkle that had to be ironed out.
And we've got, like you said, we've got our hands pretty full.
We've got enough of a bunch of other stuff going on. The interesting thing is that if you would expect, if they really wanted to cause problems, the Russians would say, oh, by the way, we knew he was there. We had evidence that he was there, and we blew him up. And we're glad he was on our list, and there we go. Got him. Has Russia said that? Have they sent that out? They certainly would brag about it. Whether it's true or not is a whole other story. But they don't need to be dealing with that kind of pressure.
Well, and it also...
Thank you for thunder and lightning.
the back channel negotiations, which are taking place all the time with all countries and in all manner, over all manner of different issues globally, there could certainly be conversations if in fact that they did, if that was true, that they did kill Lindsey Graham, there could certainly be conversations happening on back channels on like, here's why, or here's what we want, or here's what we don't want, etc.
Okay, you want to hear the other crazy one?
Yes, please.
This is Israel. That Israel is... Yo, you believe that? Israel wants Trump to get into Iran. Into Iran and do more and more damage. Like, get in there.
Right.
Get in there. Just obliterate him. Just kill him. Stop holding back on this.
Well, that's not even. That's not even a secret.
It's a whole other thing. We're in the. Oh, look, there's a rabbit. Welcome to Joe's hole. Yeah, Joe's rabbit hole.
This is your hole today.
No, this all the crazy stuff.
But it's wild that so many of the the non-traditional narratives, the quote unquote conspiracy theories, just make a lot more sense than what we're being told.
Because it starts with distrust.
Right.
It starts with distrust. So if the husband or wife thinks that their spouse is cheating, then everything is up. Well, that's really weird that she normally doesn't. Normally she's home by 5 o'clock. She can get home till 5:30. Where was she for that half hour? Right. Then you start you start tracking the phone. You start looking at somebody's emails and text messages. Well, that's really weird. That she doesn't normally do this or do that. And then you fill in with whatever there could be a possibility with, your own speculation, pushing you towards the idea that there's infidelity. Or in this case, Russia kills Lindsey Graham. Can I just play this last one here 1 second?
Sure.
This is Michael Knowles with on the Megyn Kelly Show talking about Mitch McConnell.
This is some late-stage Soviet Union stuff where you're propping up the leaders who seem to be croaking every 6 months.
Literally.
I don't know that I buy the excuses. I mean, right after he was brought to the hospital, you had all of these people in government and media, and they all came out and they said almost the exact same thing. They said, I've just spoken with Mitch McConnell for 20 minutes. We discussed Iran and the economy. We solved Fermat's last theorem. We were discussing quantum entanglement. He had some really interesting insights. You think nobody's believing this. What are you talking about? And then you have the Democrat in Kentucky, Andy Beshear, the governor, who is demanding proof of life, essentially. He wants an update on the medical condition. You're getting some of that from the Republicans as well. But of course, in a very Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham kind of operative twist, you've got this issue where if Mitch McConnell were to have suffered a very serious medical event such that he would have to leave the Senate, if he did so before August 3rd in Kentucky, that would trigger a special election. And the special election could really mess up the Republicans in the general election because, as you point out, Mitch McConnell's not running for re-election.
Yeah, I think it's a whole other thing.
Bad timing, Mitch.
Poor Mitch.
Couldn't die 4 weeks later? Come on.
Remember Woodrow Wilson had that stroke and they kept it from everybody, and then his wife was running the show?
For months, right?
Yeah, 3 or 4 months, yeah. She bringing in all the stuff, and I don't even know if he was able to even speak. All right. Here comes Nate checking traffic.
This one brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App in Fife South 5 at 54th Avenue. We're almost an hour into this collision, blocking now just the HOV lane. So we opened up a lane for you, but we've got a bumper-to-bumper backup starting at South 320th. Federal Way to Tacoma, a 45-minute commute. That's a half-hour delay. Alternate routes include State Route 99, State Route 161, or State Route 167. But the Valley Freeway, I will tell you, is heavy from State Route 18 into Sumner. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, a 45-minute commute. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. Typical backups between Bellevue and Renton. North 405 is stop and go from South Center through the Renton S-curves. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes. We've got scattered backups starting in Bellevue all the way into Canyon Park. And Seattle to Everett, 1 hour. You're slow from Northgate almost into South Everett. Text APP to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate Connors. I'm so happy that they're doing this again. K2VisionRLE.com is going to be your place to be able to find out everything you want to know about a refractive lens exchange. I say it. I've experienced it. I turn 57, I guess it was. I had to get another prescription, more, another pair of glasses, another pair every single year. So finally, I was like, get rid of this. Like, there's got to be some other option for me. No, not LASIK. So it was RLE, refractive lens exchange. So I go there to K2 Vision. I meet Dr. Copsey, and we talk about a whole bunch of stuff like golf. And then finally I ask the slightly uncomfortable question, how many of these procedures have you done? He's like, maybe 100,000. He's like, okay, that's great. You probably have all sorts of questions. If you're over the age of 50, you don't want to wear contacts and not want to wear readers anymore, and concerned about a cataract, I've got great news for you. You can sign up for a live webinar that's going to be happening Thursday at noon, this Thursday at noon, and they have all the answers for you, like does insurance pay for it? How about financing? What's the procedure? How long does it take? All that sort of stuff. Go to K2VisionRLE.com. This is Thursday at noon, K2VisionRLE.com.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear G and Ursula.
Why are we talking about a new stadium?
Weekdays 9 to noon.
In the NFL, the average stadium has 157 suites. You know, where the rich folks be.
Okay.
Here in Seattle, you're talking about 120. If you're an owner, I want to potentially have a Super Bowl in Seattle.
Sure, I'll take a new stadium as long as not one tax dollar is spent on it.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
Hey, you know Earthwise Salvage in Soto? That really cool place with all the amazing doors, windows, and other treasure? Great news! They just opened a brand new location nearby. The Salvage Lumber Warehouse is ready to serve as a central resource for contractors, builders, home DIYers, and hobbyist woodworkers, providing access to cleaned, de-nailed lumber ready for reuse, flooring, beams, siding, mantles, live edge slabs, and so much more. All harvested from structures, not forests. Visit EWSalvage.com.
Our founders believed that freedom wasn't just a word. It was a way of life. The freedom to move forward, the freedom to pursue what matters most, the freedom to live fully. But aging has a way of taking those freedoms away. That's why there's Longevity Medical Clinic. John Curley here. My best move was becoming a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic years ago, and second best move, getting my wife Nicole to join me this year. Stop guessing and start working with a doctor who knows your goals and get personalized care designed around you, not the average patient. Discover what's holding you back and what can help you thrive with longevity. Aging is natural, but some of the effects are undesirable, and you don't want to have to just accept it. So this year, as we celebrate 250 years of freedom, ask yourself a simple question. Are you living with the freedom you deserve? Get real answers about your health and get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know that keeping your home watertight and dry is essential to your family's safety and comfort. Having well-functioning gutters prevents water damage to your home and prolongs the life of your roof. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Stop looking those things up.
You gotta be kidding.
Let's just sit there during the commercial break. Jeez. Welcome to Joe's Hole. I am going to get out of Joe's Hole.
Okay.
Let's go to something that everybody really wants to know the answer to. Yes. Why do they flop all the time in soccer? So this is the Instagrammer guy explains flopping and why it's so prevalent in soccer and why it's so necessary as well. So anybody watches soccer, it's like, kid, obviously they're not hurt.
The sport of soccer is a low-scoring game where just one goal can change everything. A well-timed dive where you can convince the ref that you got fouled might get you a free kick, a red card, or even a penalty shot. It's a goal opportunity, and in soccer, the more of those you have, the chances of you winning go up. But it wasn't always this way. Diving really became common in the 1960s and 70s. As games started to get more competitive, Italian and South American teams became known for selling fouls to draw calls. This was also a time where there were fewer cameras to catch everything that's happening. So refs really had to go on instinct on whether or not they believe if a player had actually been fouled. Teams will literally practice selling a foul because if the player seems okay and is still standing, there's a way lower chance that the ref is going to call a foul on that. It's also a way for the team to run down the clock if they're already winning. It is so integrated in the game now that if your team does not flop, it's literally a disadvantage to you.
Oh, okay. Oh, literally. Well, there you go. So then they all do it because everybody else is doing it. Well, that doesn't seem right.
They train for it.
They train for the flopping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who taught him? LeBron James?
Too soon. Too soon. I don't know why I say too soon.
Should have gone with SGA.
There's no penalty for the faking of it, though, right?
No, I don't believe so. Not
you can't like flop too often. That would be good. That if you just flop, you got a certain number of flops, and then anything over that. So then at that point, the person who really does get hurt is like, I can't do it. It's like, hey, don't waste our good flops.
Yeah.
Like only real flops.
Well,
come on, guys, real flops today.
They have that in the NBA now, and also in hockey they have it. Hockey, it's an embellishment. You can get sent to the penalty box for it. They rarely call it in the NBA. I hope they start doing it more often, but they do.
I like in hockey where they act like they're pulling the guy's shirt up and then act like they're punching each other in the face.
Oh, so dramatic.
Did you know before 1860 in baseball, they didn't have a strike zone and you could just stand there all day long and wait to get the right pitch?
No.
Yeah.
1860?
Yeah. Jim Crichton, I think his name was. He was a pitcher. He threw underhand. And people just stand there and just wait.
Wow. I wonder how long the games were then.
Look at Andrew not believing me. All right, you wait and see. Somebody
Does
just
baseball go back that far?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Low trust society.
Why don't you throw yourself on the board, flop for a little bit?
Low trust moment.
Here comes Nate. Checking traffic.
All right, down in Fife, we've got this long-term collision, South 5 at 54th, blocking the HOV lane. You've got a bumper-to-bumper backup now stretching back to South 288, so Federal Way to Tacoma still hovering at about 40 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, if you're coming in from Seattle, an hour and 20. North 5 heading into Seattle, now solid from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge, 35 45 minutes to get through this. Seattle to Everett, if you're continuing north, is 1 hour. You're slow from Northgate into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, close to an hour and 55 minutes. Scattered backups between Bellevue and Canyon Park. South 5 heading into Seattle is heavy at Northgate to I-90. Let's see, Everett to Seattle, 55 minutes. Everett to Bellevue in comparison, under 40 minutes. And Everett to Marysville, a 20-minute trip. It is slow from 526 all the way to 528. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
You don't deserve to be living with that pain. People get used to it after a while. Knee, ankle, wrist, it's just part of getting old. But then you start to think about all the stuff you've given up. Like maybe you used to play golf. Maybe you played tennis. Maybe you go for a walk, a hike. Maybe you want to play pickleball, but your knees are bad. And you just sort of say, well, this is just what happens. You just get old and stuff stops working. Well, how about if the solution to the pain and the swelling and the discomfort that you have is right there in your blood? Imagine if your stem cells actually helped heal you. Well, that's what Dr. Wagner's been doing now for a long, long time. And Dr. Wagner over there at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, who's done more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, is the guy to see. So if your shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, has been bothering you and you've just sort of given up, then why not actually take another turn and decide you're going to do something about it with the help of Dr. Mark Wagner, just like I did when he fixed my hip, because I was pretty much giving up on the other day that I would ever be able to run again. That's not the case. Got a new life, got a new hip with my own stem cells. Get in touch with Dr. Mark Wagner. That's drmarkwagnermd.com, drmarkwagnermd.com.
30 years ago,
I wanted to be part of keeping the Seahawks in Seattle long term.
3 decades later,
12, they're bringing the trophy home.
2 Super Bowl championship banners hang in the stadium Paul Allen built. Now, a new era of stewardship begins.
Most things that seem impossible become possible.
And we welcome the Khosla family to Seattle. From the home of the Seahawks since the very beginning, KIRO News Radio.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO News Radio.
Summer's here, and it's the perfect time to tell you that Integrity Roofing and Construction has been serving and supporting our Puget Sound communities for 10 years. If your roof is aging, storm damage, or just ready for an upgrade, now's the perfect time to schedule your free consultation. With products that last longer and perform better, Integrity's team brings full transparency so you know exactly what your home needs before you spend a dime. And Integrity has locations from Issaquah to Sequim to Everett and Gig Harbor. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com right now. Integrity Roofing and Construction, where doing the right thing matters.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams, Drip Drop is engineered to hydrate faster and more effectively than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code radio20 for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com, promo code radio20 for 20% off your first order. Head to dripdrop.com now and use promo code radio20.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Homeland Security Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen has temporarily halted vehicle stops by federal law enforcement. It follows the 2 recent fatal shootings involving immigration officers in Texas and Maine. ABC's Victor Okendo has more.
At least 9 people have been killed during immigration enforcement operations under the second Trump administration. At least 5 of them fatally shot, including U.S. citizens Alex Preddy and Renee Good, earlier this year in Minneapolis.
Escalations in the Middle East continuing between the U.S. and Iran. The U.S. military confirming it's carrying out another round of strikes. The naval blockade by the U.S. resuming in the Strait of Hormuz. On the Senate floor today,
of the office on which you are about to
a swearing-in ceremony for Darlene Graham, the sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham, now the interim senator of South Carolina. She'll finish out her brother's term, which ends in January. And Philadelphia hosting tonight's All-Star Game, a showcase of MLB's best players and fan favorites. This is ABC News. One of the most popular minivans on the road, now the subject of a new investigation by the Federal Traffic Safety Administration.
NHTSA has opened a new probe into the airbags on the Honda Odyssey. The agency says airbags can deploy while the vans are in motion, leading to injuries, and that this could affect more than 800,000 Odysseys made between 2010 and 2017. NHTSA says they're currently conducting a technical review.
ABC's Mike Dubusky. A major airline looking to streamline its bottom line and also offer a new perk.
United's offering Economy Plus seats, a row with the middle seat blocked out. It'll be available on the new Airbus A321 XLR. Passengers will have access to a shared table that runs across the middle seat. The airline touts extra elbow room. There's also another motivation. By not selling these seats in these rows, United will not need to add a 5th flight attendant to these flights.
ABC's Brian Clark, Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
At 4:02, an unsettling wildfire forecast on both sides of the Cascades. More on that coming up. But first, here's Nate with real-time traffic.
All right, Tim. Good news in Fife. We're all clear. South 5 at 54th Avenue after a collision had a couple lanes there blocked for about an hour. So we've got a bumper-to-bumper backup starting at South 272nd into that Fife curve. Federal Way to Tacoma has already improved a few minutes down to 35 minutes. If you want to head over to State Route 99 to avoid this backup, you're looking good until you get down to Porter Way there in Fife. That's where it jams up. The Valley Freeway, a 50-minute commute from Renton into Puyallup. Steady back up through Renton into Kent, and then we're bumper to bumper between Algona and Puyallup. North 5 here in Seattle, solid from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 35 minutes gets you through this. South 5, heavy from Northgate to I-90. Everett to Seattle at 55 minutes. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes with a thick backup from 520 to Northeast 44th near the VMAC in Renton. And on the water, the Point Defiance Ferry Terminal has a 1-hour wait for drivers. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Tim Hole. Hot and dry and unsettled weather moving through the state this week will ramp up the risk of more wildfires.
Fire indices for eastern Washington were already reaching some critical fire danger levels. We are also seeing a warming trend in western Washington, and with those thunderstorms that are predicted to move through, we do see an increased risk for those wildfire starts.
That's Ryan Rodbrook with Washington Department of Natural Resources. He says it's critical to be aware of local burn bans and campfire safety. Just one spark can start the state's next big wildfire. He says Washington hasn't even reached peak fire season yet, but wildfire activity is already above normal. King County says it's not too late to be ready for fires. New toolkit recommends recommends creating a 5-foot buffer around homes by removing flammable materials. Also suggests you clean roofs and gutters, prune trees, and screen vents to keep out wind-blown embers. The kit also urges families to plan evacuation routes, pack emergency go bags, and sign up for alert notifications. Washington's new income tax on the state's wealthiest residents is headed for a political showdown. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports on the repeal campaign now underway and the governor's efforts to stop it.
Supporters of Initiative 645 have launched a statewide signature drive to repeal Washington's new millionaire's tax. Governor Ferguson is rallying opposition to that initiative, arguing the tax is needed to support families and businesses.
What I worry about is we won't have the resources to fund critical programs when people need them, right? That's what I worry about.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Secretary of State's office working to verify these signatures from Brian Haywood's group Let's Go Washington, which turned in more than 500,000 earlier this month. Haywood told KIRO News Radio's John Curley last month it was surprisingly easy to get people to sign.
It suggests something much bigger is going on here than I think Olympia planned on, right? People are more pissed off about this than Olympia was hoping for.
If about 309,000 of those signatures are verified, the initiative will qualify for November's ballot. Pierce County deputies say a man is in critical condition after being ambushed by 2 suspects at the Deer Creek Apartments on the 4th of July. Deputy Carly Capetto says the 37-year-old was followed, then violently attacked and left on the sidewalk.
If he does fully recover, there will be life-altering changes for this man.
Sheriff's office now asking anyone with doorbell or surveillance camera footage from that night to come forward. Specifically, detectives need footage showing vehicles or individuals near Building 3 on Saturday, July 4th, between 10 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. Seattle firefighters investigating an early morning fire in the Madison Valley neighborhood.
Flames are coming out of the building pretty fierce.
That blaze broke out in a large building with multiple businesses on East Madison at 27th Avenue East. Alexis Robinson owns Coven Salon on the first floor.
We're booked through the rest of the year. We are a busy, fully functional salon. I have 9 staff members that we're trying to take care of. And if we don't have revenue, then how am I supposed to pay them?
She talked with Cairo 7 TV. Nobody inside the building when that fire started. And is anybody missing a pet snake? Auburn Animal Control trying to find the owner of a snake discovered slithering around the Mallard Point Apartments. Police say the reptile has since been transferred to Pacific Northwest Aquatics and Exotics Rescue in Tacoma, while officials search for its owner.
There's a big snake in the plains! Oh, thou shalt spot pet snake Reggie! I hate snakes, shocked!
We know it doesn't belong to Indiana Jones, but if it's yours, scaly escape artist, the city of Auburn suggests you contact Animal Control. And yes, we have a photo of the snake on mynorthwest.com. At 4:06, your forecast, clear skies tonight, low 58, mostly sunny again tomorrow, mid-80s for the high. Chance of showers, then partly sunny on Thursday, 74, partly sunny, 78 on Friday. It's 82 right now in Seattle. I'm Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Kind of worried about the club. I don't worry about the club. Worry about maybe Jackie might worry. Nah, don't worry.
Okay, good. Thank you, Larry. Basically, we're just don't worry about the club.
Just loading some Larry out here.
There we are. John Curley Show. Hey, everybody. How are you? Where's the YouTube people there? Let me throw some. Are there people out there still in the YouTube world?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Every day.
There they are. That's a little something for you there. Here we go, everybody. Dive into the news. Hello, Katie. How are you back there? Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Hello. 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 There's Ginny Hahn. There were 3 Hahn girls, the triplets. And I think her mom, we used to call there just to have her mom answer the phone. Hallie. No, it was Randy Murtaugh. Remember which one? Hallie. SU9, I think it was number SU909.
What century was this?
How do you not get it?
Don't worry about it.
It's the Murdoch guy.
Don't worry about the club.
Triplets.
President Trump is going to be making a speech on Thursday at 9 o'clock. That is our time.
Nope.
6
o'clock our time.
Oh, 6 o'clock our time. Last time he gave one of these speeches, I think it was April 1st, talking about Iran. In this case, he said, the president said that he wants to talk, because it's very, very important, about election integrity. People in the White House are saying, no. You kind of want to talk about something else, like maybe inflation, the economy, gas prices, mention something about Iran. President says, no, it's pretty much there's going to be a lot because it's really important. Talk a lot about election integrity. Like, we're moving on from that one.
The president did not specify what he'd be talking about during the speech, scheduled for 9 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. MS Now reports, citing 2 White House officials, the president is expected to address newly declassified intelligence, which the administration claims reveals plans by foreign nations to interfere in the 2020 election. 3 people familiar with the effort tell NBC News that a White House task force had been gathering thousands of pages of documents from U.S. intelligence and law enforcement agencies, including information related to the 2020 election, signs of ballot irregularities, and potential voting machine issues. After that election, President Trump and his allies filed multiple lawsuits, but they were overturned in large part over a lack of evidence. Elections experts and government officials, including members of President Trump's cabinet during his first term, have said there was no widespread voter fraud. Still, President Trump has continued to claim the 2020 election was stolen, and he named a longtime supporter, Bill Pulte, to temporarily lead the intelligence agencies.
Oh, God, Bill Pulte. Biden received 81.3 million popular votes in 2020, roughly 81,283,000, or 51.3% of total. President Trump, 74.2 million, roughly 74,233. 74,233, 46.8%. Biden's margin, 7 million votes. Come on. Just move on. Or how about Iran? Well, I could talk about the Iran war.
The situation in the Middle East is continuing to develop at this hour. Putting this up on your screen from the U.S. Central Command, saying this: at 3 p.m. Eastern time today, the U.S. Central Command forces began launching an additional round of strikes against Iran to continue degrading Iranian capabilities used to attack commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. These strikes are taking place as American forces are preparing to resume the naval blockade against Iranian ports and coastal areas. The blockade goes into effect at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Earlier today, our partners at Reuters did initially report that explosions were heard in several parts of Iran.
Yep.
In fact, the governor's office there is in an area on the Strait of Hormuz said it was hit by a U.S. projectile at around 7 p.m. local time there to Tehran. A U.S. projectile also exploded near a water and electricity facility on Iran's Kish Island.
Okay.
The country's semi-official was able to tell that to a local news agency. The statement went on to say,
okay, whatever. It's so weird because, so we start this thing and take out their leaders, blow up a whole bunch of stuff, and now it's spent a lot of money. I think 15 Americans, the last count, that have perished in the battle, in the fight, the war, whatever you want to call it, the kinetic force. And now Iran has actually done pretty well on this. It's like, okay, so they shut down the strait, and then Trump said, you guys can go ahead and charge some people for the thing, like a toll for security. And I think Iran said, maybe 10% or whatever they're going to charge on the thing. And then Trump said, well, we'll charge 20% on the thing, which drives the giant price up of having each one of these ships. Iran's like, okay, well, we were going to charge as much, but no country should have the ability to shut down open naval waterways like that. So now we're right back to where we were before, and Iran's even in a slightly better position. The biggest problem, of course, is they can't stop them. What are you going to do? To what extent how many bombs are you going to drop? And where and how much more until you start to actually affect the people that are there in Iran? Because only a small portion of them are okay with the position of the government that's there. The religious leaders and whoever else might still be left. Everybody else is like, just let us have a normal life.
Yeah, I think it's less than 10% of the population. I think it's about 90 million people live there.
Yeah, it's 90 million, yeah. So is this becoming his forever war? That's the other thing he has to look at. Because remember when the president ran, he said, well, why are we getting into these wars all the time? They were going for 9 or 15 years. We don't want this. Well, we now have it. It's sitting there. So the whole thing could end, and Iran could possibly be stronger than they were before. And then you still have Israel going, come on, get in there. Finish them off. The good news is...
When are you going to get rid of daylight savings time?
Okay, are you ready? So, this should be the easiest one of all, but it's a 50-50 issue. And if something's a 50-50 issue, it's hard to get excited about it. I assume people would like to have more light.
Okay, 80-20. Men...
We know that one.
I'm just giving you the 50-50 and 80-20? 20? Okay.
Later. But some people want to have more light earlier because they don't want to take their kids to school in the dark. And it's a little bit one way, but it's very much a 50-50 issue. And it's something I can do, but a lot of people like it one way, a lot of people like it the other way.
Be a leader.
It's very even. And usually I find when that's the case, what else do we have to do?
Wow. What else do we have to do? It was also set up, and they kept it going during the oil crisis. The whole idea of when you'd have your lights on, saving energy on this sort of stuff.
In the 70s?
Yeah. But it goes back even further. During the war, too. They didn't want your lights on, saving energy to keep during World War II.
Right.
It's just get rid of it.
You're on that 50?
This thing has been kicking around. The state of Washington has been working on this thing since 2019 or something like that.
Well, we've
finish it.
We have passed whatever in the state.
The rest have to follow.
Or Congress has to do something, right?
Right. But what we really need to focus on is explosive diarrhea. This story, I don't know why it's even a story, but Joe's really excited by it. And one of our listeners wrote in, I don't know.
Hang on. Let me pull it up. This is from Preston and Buckley. He says, I may not be near John's age or wisdom, but one thing I've learned over my 32 years is you never put diarrhea on the back burner.
A parasite causing explosive. They had to put that in there so people would read about it. Because if it's just a parasite causing diarrhea surging through the nationwide, King County cases remain at normal level. I don't know what normal is, but they put an explosive in there so that everyone's like, oh, it's just not your normal run-of-the-mill. It's explosive diarrhea. Latest update map showing where explosive diarrhea cases in the United States. And I don't know which state is leading the way on this one.
Michigan. 4,000 cases.
Got it. Then you also have a parasite, and now what? What are you supposed to do about it? I think
I got some sound for you.
All right, here we go. I don't really care about this.
Well, let's start with what it is.
Cyclosporiasis. It's an intestinal illness caused by the Cyclospora chiatinensis parasite. Cyclospora is transmitted through consumption of food or water that is contaminated with feces. It's not fatal, and not everybody who gets cyclosporiasis will have symptoms. But those who do face severe and unpleasant side effects. And apologies in advance if you're squeamish, may experience bouts of frequent and explosive diarrhea that could last from a few days to more than a month. That's along with nausea, fatigue, and bloating. It can be treated with antibiotics, but most people can recover without medical intervention, although it will take longer.
Months?
Oh, my God. Months? You have to work that into your personality.
Seriously. That could kill you.
I've got Patty up, running the, what's her official job here? She's the one that put all the warnings downstairs in the bathroom.
What caused those to be?
I don't know. That's legendary here at KIRO Radio, that there were instructions.
That one downstairs is legendary. I can't even repeat it.
I have it
out of that toilet. There was an entire field guide in front of you on the one wall. Then on the other wall next to the toilet paper, there was another instruction for you there. There was another one over near the sink. The whole thing was just covered in just warnings and instructions. There was C figure 1A.
Yes.
It was like putting together an IKEA bookshelf in there to explain what you're supposed to do.
I have it saved somewhere. I'll work up.
It's like, what happened in here that this is now the byproduct of this?
Remember, that thing was closed for like 3 months.
Yes. Andrew, didn't you have a theory?
Why are we doing this story?
I thought it might have been. I thought it might have been a board up that short-lived time here.
Of course, it was a board up. Are you kidding?
But I have no proof of that, so I can't say.
By the way, as long as we're on this distasteful topic, so we when we got the bar and set it up for the for weddings and stuff, the county came by and they said, "Oh, how many bathrooms do you have?" Well, Nick tried to fool them. But how many bedrooms you have? Because they determine how big the septic has to be for that. I told you the story. So Nick had the one bedroom turned into her office, brought a table in, brought a desk in, brought a computer in, put a bunch of files and stuff, had her little desk there with all of her stuff, put a little refrigerator in. That's my office. And I go, well, what are you going to do with the other bedroom to try to fool the people from the county? Oh, I've turned that into your man cave. Well, I don't have any man cave stuff. So I opened the door, the sliding door. It's like a barn door, right? Mm-hmm. You know what's in there? A yoga mat, 2 bright lime-colored 2.5-pound dumbbells, a easel with a watercolor on it, a watercolor box, and my guitar, and I forget what else is in there. It was the gayest man cave you could possibly have. And I said to Nick, that's not a man cave. Well, I don't have anything else. But their county's coming by in an hour, and we can't let them think we have all these bedrooms because then they're going to make us change the septic system. Well, the lady comes in. She pulls the door back. She goes, that's a bedroom. What's this one? Nick's like, that's my husband's man cave. That's a bedroom, and that's a bedroom, and that's a bedroom, and you've got 16 places for people to sleep. You need a $78,000 upgrade on your septic system. So today the guy came by because the beginning of wedding season, or we've had a couple. So the guy came by and with the big tank and went in there with a hose and did the work. And he came to the door just to let me know he's finished. Nice guy, but it's a weird feeling of like, God, I want to shake your hand, but I don't. But I want to tip you. If anybody deserves a tip, it's him with a giant tube going in there.
Right.
And he just stood like 20 feet away from me. And every time I try to approach him to sort of thank him, he kind of back up a little bit.
Oh.
But it's a weird feeling of like, God, this guy knows us so personally.
He was judging.
Go ahead. What were you looking for?
I was trying to find the sign. I couldn't find it. It's saved on my phone somewhere.
And Andrew's theory?
That it was a board up.
All right.
You want tips on how to avoid contracting
Sure, go ahead.
cyclosporiasis?
The CDC has 2 major tips. First, avoid consuming food or water that may be contaminated with feces.
Oh, okay. Hang on. All right. So you mean if I pick up a glass of water, like a nice glass of water in the morning, right before coffee, nice big glass, and you look in there and there's a turd floating around, you're like, whoa.
Think twice.
Just think twice.
Yes.
Okay, keep going. Yeah.
Obviously. And
Thank
second, follow food safety recommendations for safe preparation and storage, like cutting away damaged or bruised areas of produce. Buy whole heads of lettuce, not pre-washed bags. Separate and wash all cilantro and basil leaves. Trim the root end and peel the outer layer of green onions. Gently rub snow peas and other vegetables with your hands or a brush as you wash them. And consider avoiding fresh fruits like raspberries with exteriors that are harder to wash. But the only surefire way to avoid it, cooking vegetables. Cyclospora die at 158 degrees.
There we go. Okay.
No cold vegetables.
Okay.
Most importantly, avoid consuming food that has been in contact with feces.
Right. Big glass of it. Okay.
This is
finished with it?
It's expanding. We haven't even hit Washington yet.
Yeah, we're going to get the Department of Health to help us out with that.
They're on it.
They're good. They put out a coloring book. Have you seen their coloring book they came out with?
No.
Yeah, all about like it's for kids and it goes into the library and for kids and silence equals violence and being sober is queer. It's a coloring book all about for trans kids, for little kids to be able to, think twice about whether or not they were, given the right gender at birth.
It's being sober.
It says, I think it's sobriety is queer. It's from the Department of Health. They have it.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I don't know. But yet the Department of Health has got a nice little coloring book for the kids. What? Let a little 8-year-old just question, was I assigned the right birth? Here's Nate checking traffic.
Yes, sir. Here in Seattle, North 5, solid from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. About 35 minutes to get through this. South 5, we're heavy from Lake City Way to I-90. That's an improvement from our last report. Still about 45 minutes from Linwood, though. Southbound 99, heavy from the Aurora Bridge to the stadiums. And northbound 99 slows from the stadiums up to South Lake Union. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 25 minutes on I-90. A few minutes more on 520. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. Now, we're bumper to bumper from 520 all the way to Cold Creek Parkway, and then from there, it thins out as you get into Renton. North 405, you're slow from South Center through those Renton S-curves, South Center to Bellevue, a 25-minute commute. And Seattle to Federal Way, 40 minutes, you're slow from MLK Junior Way all the way to South 288th. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Yes, you are Nate Connors. Let's see, is there parts of the house that you just don't have anything, no more storage? The garage doesn't function anymore. It's maybe a 2-car garage. You got half a car in there. That's probably not so good. Let's see, when it comes to the home office, there's boxes everywhere on the floor, or you try to store stuff somewhere, maybe even the pantry. The laundry room is a mess as well. The problem is you keep accumulating more and more things, but you don't have the storage to go with it. And most times when a home is built, it's kind of the last thing that the builder thinks about. So you get the metal racks in the kitchen or the garage or in the bedroom, and you just want to have better storage. One, it's going to be so much nicer for you because you can put everything somewhere and you can find it again. Plus, also, when it comes to selling the house, an upgrade like that really pays off with the new buyer. So the best thing to do is have Closets by Design. Locally owned, 22 years in the business. They came by the barn like about 8 or 9 months ago, have completely transformed everything and everywhere we store everything. You wouldn't believe how the garage looks at this point. It's beautiful. Closets by Design. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com. That's closetsbydesign.com.
The Seahawks sold.
Selling price will be an NFL record $9.612 billion, according to ESPN.
What do we know about the new owners?
Vinod Khosla grew up in India, removed from technology.
I never even had a television or a telephone at home.
Has invested in a ton of companies you know of, Square, DoorDash.
Coverage continues on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM and mynorthwest.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Hey, you know Earthwise Salvage in Soto? That really cool place with all the amazing doors, windows, and other treasure? Great news! They just opened a brand new location nearby. The Salvage Lumber Warehouse is ready to serve as a central resource for contractors, builders, home DIYers, and hobbyist woodworkers, providing access to cleaned, de-nailed lumber ready for reuse, flooring, beams, siding, mantles, live edge slabs, and so much more. All harvested from structures, not forests. Visit ewsalvage.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
I was walking my dog. I fell and ended up with 3 tears in my meniscus. I was sent to a surgeon and they said the only way to get this fixed is to have surgery. That just wasn't an option. I didn't want to jump into surgery without trying anything else.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We offer Jamie an alternative to the downtime and potential risks associated with invasive knee surgery. At Sound Pain Solutions, we help patients like Jamie avoid the side effects of painkillers, cortisone injections, and pain following surgery. Our comprehensive approach includes treatments like pressure wave, PRP, and advanced laser. These treatments reduce pain and restore mobility naturally. Now Jamie is able to do everything she enjoys without pain.
I'm grateful for being able to wake up every day and not be in pain. To be able to go about my day has been amazing.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free joint treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Andre. Andre, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
My wife and I were going to get married, and we wanted to combine our insurance for both home and auto.
Were they able to save you any money?
The money they quoted us was actually the same as what we were paying separately. However, the coverage that we received was immensely greater than what we were previously receiving. It's quite scary how unprotected we were with our previous coverage. Under First Mark, I'd probably say we doubled the coverage that we had. It was a huge deal.
What would you tell others they can expect when they make that call to First Mark?
Take the 15-minute phone call. It's totally free. It's not going to cost me a thing. And the very least that could happen is just gain a better understanding. The best that could happen is you could either save money or get much better coverage, which is exactly what happened.
Andre did it. My family did it. You got to do it, and it's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
At 4:30, good afternoon. I'm Tim Hole. As wildfire risk ramps up in our state, thanks to this week's forecast from both sides of the Cascade, hundreds of fires are burning across the U.S., including in Minnesota, where campers were evacuated from a forest because of multiple fires.
A scorching summer heat dome baking most of the country. Minnesota dealing with heat indices over 100 degrees and more than a dozen wildfires. Mandatory evacuations in Lake County for people near the campfire. The National Forest Service in Minnesota closing down access to the million-acre Boundary Waters Canoe Wilderness area. Teams on canoes warning campers to get out as winds shifted.
That's ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says the city's updated climate action plan depends on cutting waste and building a true circular economy.
At the new Reuse Commons in Lake City, where the focus is on reuse, repair, and share, Mayor Katie Wilson said stopping reusable materials from going into the landfill and relying less on brand new goods is key to reducing carbon emissions and keeping Seattle a climate leader.
Efforts like this, where we're stopping materials from going to the landfill, reducing the amount of kind of new things, so that helps toward those goals.
Reuse Commons is a shared space that co-locates multiple reuse, repair, and share services under one roof. In Lake City, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A bill cracking down on copper wire theft could get another shot in Olympia next year. King County Prosecutor Lisa Mannion says the measure, which didn't pass this session, would require recyclers to photograph wire brought in for sale and let police seize and trace suspected stolen wire. She compares it to the catalytic converter law, which led to a big drop in theft in King County. And Mannion tells Gian Ursula she expects the same thing to happen if this law passes.
That is absolutely my hope. And if catalytic converter thefts are any kind of indicator, that's what we expect to happen with copper wire theft.
Mannion is building a coalition, including Sound Transit and the State Attorney General's office, to push it through the legislative session in 2027. A dog named Nico is safe after falling 40 feet down a cliff in Graham while chasing a rabbit over the weekend. Pierce County Sheriff's Search and Rescue Ropes team lowered a deputy down the cliff to grab the stranded pup.
The dog's too friendly. I can't get it to sit still. I'm just so happy to see somebody.
That's rescue caught on video there. The deputy said Nico wouldn't stop licking him or stay still long enough for her to get into the harness, so he carried Nico out. And she was reunited with her owner the next day. You can see pictures of Nico and video of the rescue at mynorthwest.com. In Tacoma, Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium is investigating the deaths of 3 tufted puffins. As a precaution, the zoo has closed the puffin habitat while lab testing is completed. Officials suspect the birds may have an avian bacterial disease. The zoo says there's no known human infections linked to the facility, and the risk to guests remains low. At 4:33 now, let's go to the real-time traffic desk. And here's Nate.
Hey, thanks, Tim. Seattle to Tacoma, a 1-hour drive. You're crowded from Tequila all the way through Fife as we recover from our earlier collision in Fife that sat there for about an hour. That cleared a half hour ago, and here we are. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, 50 minutes. You're slow from 405 into Kent. Catch a little breather, and then bumper to bumper from Algona into Puyallup. North 405, we're bumper to bumper through South Center. You'll thin out in the S-curve. South Center to Bellevue, less than a half hour. Here in Seattle, North 5, we're solid from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 35 minutes just to get through this. South 5, heavy at Lake City Way to I-90. 45 minutes from Linwood into downtown. And up north in Everett to Marysville, just shy of 20 minutes. You're slow from 526 all the way to 528. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Your forecast going to cool off from our high of 84 today to 58 overnight. Wednesday, mostly sunny and again mid-80s. Chance of showers Thursday morning, then partly sunny, 74. And partly sunny and 78 on Friday. Currently 84 degrees in Seattle. I'm Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Start your day with solutions, not problems. KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic every 10 minutes. From storms to backups, whatever you'll run into, you'll be prepared. Stay up to the minute every 10 minutes. KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic only on KIRO 7 News in the Morning.
Thanks, Joe. Well said, well read. Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers. 16 locations, been around for 51 years. It's Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers. Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers. Something wrong with your car, take it to Buc-ee's. Even if there's nothing wrong with your car, take it to Buc-ee's. Let the guys look at your car. Tell them there's something wrong with it, and then just watch them. Watch them try to figure it out.
Wow, there's nothing wrong with this car.
And then say, prank!
Got them real good.
Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers. Digging the Buc-ee's. That's good, Andrew. That's good. Wow, you are rocking tonight. Speaking of cars and explosive diarrhea, cars and the Waymo and other problems, robo-taxi drivers are falling asleep, and it's sparking frantic 911 calls.
The passengers are falling asleep.
Passengers are, because there's it's a robot driving the thing, not even a robot. The car's just driving around, so people fall asleep.
You want to see a little sample of that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good.
Yeah.
This is,
Hey, it's time to wake up.
Where, is that his foot?
Yeah, he's sleeping with his feet outside the window.
Hey, it's time to wake up.
Okay.
Ready at the drop off. Just like to let you know. It's time to wake up.
Yeah. Okay. And then so here, Austin dispatchers treat an incident as a potential heart attack if the remote assistant can't help. And then they say when people fall asleep in the car, we don't want to commit a significant number of resources to these calls. Statistically, we know that most of the time the people don't need further medical attention, and we can't afford to be sending our police and fire out there.
Okay. Well,
let me just explain.
Okay.
If I had that guy on the stand, you could be that guy.
Okay.
Okay. You Officer Dumpy Pants, right?
We'd prefer not to commit valuable city resources to Waymo cars when we understand that 95% of the time somebody's just fallen asleep and they're not waking up.
I'm good. I'm glad you brought up percentages. Do you know how much safer these Waymo cars and robot cars are than the average driver? Because you have no trouble attending to fender benders and serious fatal accidents.
I don't have those numbers in front of me.
I do. So they're 94% less likely to be in a serious or fatal accident, okay? And they're 90 or 89% less likely to also be in a fender bender. So if you had your choice, because you don't want to send out your police and fire for these things, wouldn't you rather have something that is 94% safer than a car driven by a human being, or 89% safer? If you had your choice, would you think you would be sending more or less firemen and police out and ambulances out for a robo-car or for a car driven by a human being? Because right now, if you look at the numbers, you probably want more Waymo and you want more robot cars, don't you?
Sir, they're called Waymos.
Because if your problem is sending your police and fire and you can't spread them too thin, well, it seems like you'd probably want more of the robot cars, wouldn't you?
Sir, it sounds like you're trying to accuse me of being in the pocket of...
I'm not. I'm just pointing out, yeah, possibly. Those are your words, not mine. I assume you're part of the union. And assuming that these unions all don't want the advancements of these cars, they're safer. You should be advocating for this thing. If you're concerned about having the police and having the fire respond, this is the way to go. Occasionally get somebody that's falling asleep because they're drunk in the back of the car. No further. You dismiss.
Now,
what about Grumpy Pants? You can go.
What about the incident in San Francisco where 250 Waymos were disabled during a system-wide blackout that caused the streets to be completely blocked, and my rescue and emergency staff unable to respond to legitimate calls?
Why did they get? Why were they turned off? What happened?
Actually, don't know. That was just kind of a fluky incident where somehow at HQ
Well, they're working all this stuff out. It's going to be better. But
I'm a fan. I shouldn't say this on the stand, but I'm a Waymo fan.
Well, thank you. No further questions. One other thing that they see they're having problems with is the fact that people will get in and trash the thing because there's nobody looking, and then they have to be assessed something. They got to find out some way to be able to charge them. $150 if you're smoking the thing, $100 cleaning fees, $50. Do you incentivize the people to take good care of the place, or do you just whack their bill? Or you probably just have to add to the charge. That's the only way to be able to control that.
Yeah, why not?
The cleaning fee jumps to $100 if the next passenger discovers the mess first. Ooh, repeat offenders for trash and smoking violations will be charged even more, or just don't pick them up. That's the other thing. You know, Joe and I were reading about Singapore, and so Singapore there's a 19-year-old kid who's in trouble for licking a straw and putting a straw back in the container. Well, Singapore is going to charge this individual. So people always say, is it because the penalty is so severe, or is it because likelihood of being caught is a greater deterrent than the severity of the penalty? And the answer is chance of being caught, because most people, I'm going to do this. Chance of being caught, I don't know, 20%. So I'm going to sneak something through, or I'm going to lie about this. I'm going to falsify some sort of information because they're going to catch me? Probably not. So I do it. But then you're like, well, if they do catch you, it's going to be $10,000. People don't even think about the $10,000 fine. They think, is it more or less likely I'll be caught? In Singapore, they know they're going to get caught. So then it's 10 years in jail or 20 years in jail. That doesn't stop the behavior. The behavior is stopped when they know they'll get caught.
And the punishment is pretty severe.
And the punishment is severe as well.
And we're going to get to that. But I also want to point out another fun Waymo story that I know you're going to like is the two teens that were drinking and shooting people with water guns in San Mateo in the Bay Area. And so the Waymo contacted the police while they're in the car because it somehow knew that they were doing illegal things.
All right.
Contacted the cops, kept driving them around, and then eventually just parked in a parking lot where the cops were waiting for them.
Yeah, and drive them right in there.
Yeah, delivered them right to the bus.
Perfect. Like the time, I don't know why we did this. We decided we were going, this is so... Okay, this speaks perfectly to how dumb teenage boys are.
Ooh, do we have time, or are we going to save this for the next segment?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I don't want you to get started and then have to.
It's so good.
Okay, it's coming next.
Oh, that's the cheese.
You're really teasing up the show over there, Joe.
I'm just saying.
All right, I'll try to get all the time in there. Yeah, okay.
All right.
It's a testimony to how stupid teenage boys are.
Okay.
All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Seattle North 5, solid approaching the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal. It's where Revive I-5 is back, so 2 right lanes are blocked on the bridge. Also, the on-ramp from Harvard Avenue is closed through mid-October. Plan on a half hour to get through downtown. South 5, we're heavy from Northgate again, down to I-90, 45 minutes from Linwood into downtown. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, it's a half-hour trip on both bridge routes. Take your pick. Westbound 520 jams up at mid-span over to I-5. Westbound 90 looking better, but it is a little crowded across the lake over to I-5. South 405 in Bellevue is bumper to bumper from 520 all the way down to the VMAC. North 405 is solid from South Center through the Renton S curves. The Valley Freeway is pretty solid now from north to south end. It's about a 50-minute commute from Renton into Puyallup. Let's see, both directions of State Route 99 through downtown Seattle are packed through the downtown tunnel. Southbound 99, your backup starts approaching the Aurora Bridge. And up in Everett, we're slowly thinning out, but it's still slow from 526 up to 528. Everett to Marysville, right around a 15-minute commute. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And Nate Connors, if you've got a bad shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, and it's something that's been bothering you for a long time, you just sort of accept it. Maybe you ice it, maybe you put a brace on it, maybe you just start giving up stuff. Like, I'd love to try that pickleball. Everybody seems to be in the pickleball, but I got a bad knee or ankle, wrist, shoulder, whatever it is. And you sort of adjust to it. And everybody just says, well, you know what? He doesn't hike anymore. Or just all the stuff that you enjoyed. And then you think, okay, maybe I'll get surgery. Then you start talking to the surgeon and you think, well, what are my chances of having full recovery? He's like, well, about 20, 30%. Woof, that's a lot of pain. That's a lot of recovery. Is there any other option? How about stem cells? How about Dr. Mark Wagner? This is the guy to see. Everybody says they got a guy. This is the guy. 30 years as a physician and 20,000 stem cell procedures later, including my hip, Dr. Mark Wagner is the man to see. You get your x-rays and your MRIs together and you go see Dr. Mark Wagner. You find out if a stem cell procedure is right for you. It gets you back in the game. DrMarkWagnerMD.com. That's DrMarkWagnerMD.com.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
This was a massive moment.
First, let me ask a question. Have you ever had gumbo?
Yes. Goodies.
All different flavors. Goodness. That's what 6 matches here. Everything around the stadium, something you can tell us about as well, you were around the stadium, has been nothing but a big old pot of gumbo.
G and Ursula, 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
Nearly 1 in 4 people killed on the road in Washington weren't driving. Pedestrians on our roads are incredibly vulnerable, whether they're facing drunk, drugged, drowsy, or distracted drivers. Pedestrians are defenseless on our streets. That's why Davis Law Group fights for pedestrian accident victims and their loved ones after a crash. Davis Law Group delivers. So if you or a loved one have been injured, call Davis Law Group today at 206-888-8888 or visit DavisLawGroupSeattle.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, to get 30, to get 20, 20, 20, to get 20, 20, to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Give your attic an overhaul with new insulation from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. Stay cool all summer, slash utility bills, and boost your home's air quality. Call now and get $300 off attic ceiling and ventilation, or visit us at GuardianRoofing.com.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
John Curley here. When the AC starts acting up, don't assume you need a whole new system. Home Comfort Alliance, their approach is simple. Repair first, replace only if needed. Their techs diagnose the real problem because a simple fix can often get the cooling back up again and not cost you a full replacement. Need something new? Ask about a heat pump for year-round comfort. That's what we did at the barn. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at homecomfortalliance.com. Call the comfort people. homecomfortalliance.com.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Buckle up. It's going to be a hot summer. And if you have poor or no insulation in your attic, you could be losing up to 40% of your energy efficiency. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing has you covered. This summer, bundle energy-saving attic insulation with a new roof and save 10%. Plus, with no money down on your project, you don't pay until your project is complete. Call 206 Roofing to save 10% when you bundle a new roof and attic insulation. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Holy smokes!
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorpic here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
All right, before the break, Joe had mentioned that these kids got in trouble and the Waymo car knew that they were in trouble, so they drove right to the police station. Which then reminded me, this speaks to anytime you speak to a teenage boy. So I think we were 15, 16, 17, a little gang of us, like 6 of us, coming up with stupid stuff to do on the weekends. And this was the dumbest. Here was the plan that if we could pull this off, we could commit a whole bunch of crimes on that Saturday night and the cops wouldn't be able to catch us. Why? Because one of us thought there was a law that said that police could not respond to crime, scenes. They couldn't drive their cars if they didn't have gas caps. So on a Saturday night, around 11:30, 5 of us came into the Lower Merion Police Station. There was no fence or barrier to stop us. It was just simply a parking lot. And there they were. Police cruisers. Black and whites. Gas caps just waiting to be taken. We had a bag with us, too. 2 bags, as a matter of fact. Jimmy had one, I had one, so did Eddie. 3 bags. We went from car to car. These are the older versions that didn't have a plate over it. There it was, just waiting to be taken. One tiny turn of the wrist. Counterclockwise. Got it. Clink, clink, clink went the bags with all the gas caps. I had maybe 5, 6. I didn't want to stop and look. Eddie probably had 4 or 5 as well, and Jimmy was a better athlete, counting maybe 7. Either way, we got every single gas cap we could get off of every single one of those black and white cruisers.
Pretty soon, the entire town of Ardmore would be ours. Any crime we wanted to commit, it was just open door. Just waiting. 2 cops came out. Spotted Jimmy first. Who dropped the bag, started crying. And then Eddie gave up as well. I did too. Cried like a baby. Did I mention explosive diarrhea? Hit me hard. And they took us into the police station and booked us for stealing gas caps. And when one cop said, why? We're like, we heard that if you guys didn't have gas caps, then you couldn't drive your cars. So you thought you'd like steal gas caps or something? We're like, yeah. Why? Like, I don't know. We had nothing to do. It was Saturday. It was a dumb idea.
I want to know what crime, had you been successful in the gas cap heist, what crime were you going to commit?
At that point, we could do anything we wanted.
Gonna rob a bank or something?
You name it. Woo. It's just like living in Seattle now. Do whatever you want. Shoot up drugs and fire your gun anywhere you want.
Nice.
Be like living in Seattle. All right. Now here comes Nate Checker traffic. Your thought?
Yes, sir. Bellevue to Everett, Seattle to Everett are both 1 hour commutes. 405 has scattered backups from Bellevue to Alderwood. It gets noticeably thinner once you get into Canyon Park. North 5, you're slow from Lake City Way all the way through Mill Creek. Seattle to Federal Way has improved a 35-minute drive. We're back down to our usual backup now between Interurban Avenue and 516. Renton to Puyallup on southbound 167's at 50 minutes. We're pretty solid from Renton all the way into Sumner. Westbound 18, bumper to bumper from Military Road over to I-5. Up at Snoqualmie, westbound 18, we're jam-packed coming off I-90 over to Deep Creek. You catch a little break and then another brief backup heading up the Summit. So all added up, it's about 4 miles of scattered backups here. And in Tacoma, southbound 705 at your ramp to South 5, still dealing with a disabled semi blocking the left lane at the on-ramp. That's why you're backed up to 509. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
State Senator Jamie Peterson drafted one of the state's most progressive taxes to date, the income tax on millionaires.
Engaging conversation.
We pay teachers the 4th highest of any state in the country.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
The Seahawks! They're bringing it home again!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Why is K2 Vision RLE a permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers? How is it that you'll never develop a cataract after K2 Vision RLE? And how is RLE different from LASIK?
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. We'll answer those questions and others when you join us for our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Andy, what are some of the other questions you hear?
Well, how long is the procedure and recovery? Or who's a good candidate for RLE?
And we'll also answer, how much does RLE cost? Is there financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE?
Find out how K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers.
And cataracts too.
Right, no more cataracts.
K2 Vision's free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Space will be limited, so register now at k2visionrle.com.
Join us at our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Sign up at k2visionrle.com.
Summer's here, and it's the perfect time to tell you that Integrity Roofing and Construction has been serving and supporting our Puget Sound communities for 10 years. If your roof is aging, storm damaged, or just ready for an upgrade, now's the perfect time to schedule your free consultation. With products that last longer and perform better, Integrity's team brings full transparency so you know exactly what your home needs before you spend a dime. And Integrity has locations from Issaquah to Sequim to Everett and Gig Harbor. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com right now. Integrity Roofing and Construction, where doing the right thing matters.
G and Ursula.
Contrary to what y'all might believe, sometimes on the G and Ursula show, G forgets to show up.
9 to noon.
I count on all of you listening to carry me through.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula show on YouTube and watch live or later.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words weren't written for history books. They were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when aging is part of everyday life. John Curley here. Longevity Medical Clinic was created to help people with overall wellness and longevity, including diabetes management, heart health, weight management, inflammation reduction, nutrition, cognitive health, hormone therapy, and more. I can tell you from personal experience being a patient for 17 years, I have a richer, fuller life, and I'm better able to pursue my own happiness. As America celebrates 250 years of independence, give yourself the chance to reclaim yours. Independence from aging. Take control of your health before small issues become big problems. Experience a smarter, proactive approach to aging, backed by decades of experience with longevity. Do what I did and feel like yourself again. Get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out how at lmclinic.com.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. The blockade on Iranian ships in the Strait of Hormuz, President Trump says it's back on, but his proposal from yesterday to toll ships there is off. ABC's Karen Travers in Washington.
The president announced a 20% toll on ships going through that critical waterway, saying that the U.S. would offer protection and safe passage, but then expect payment for it. 24 hours later, the president reversed that and pulled it back.
A pause in ICE traffic stops after the fatal shooting of a 26-year-old Colombian man as he drove to work in Maine Monday. It was the second such shooting in a week, coming after another fatal shooting during a traffic stop in Houston. Investigators in Mississippi's Jackson County trying to build a timeline in the lead up to Nolan Wells' death on July 4th after the teen did not return from a boating trip with friends to a remote island in the Gulf. And Spain advancing to its first World Cup final since winning in 2010 with a 2-0 victory over France. This is ABC News. Oil prices are rising once again as strikes resume in Iran, and ships are once again coming under fire. That's sending gas prices higher.
Prices right now at the pump are up 8 cents over the last week. The national average is now $3.82. And analysts are forecasting that we could see $4 gas in the next 7 to 10 days, if not sooner. And this all comes back to the Strait of Hormuz. It is not returning to the old normal. Fewer ships are moving through there. Just 10 of them crossed through overnight. For reference, during the MOU, when that was happening, you were seeing 70 ships through.
ABC Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis. One of the world's largest and most complete T-Rex fossils is sold for a record $50 million at auction. Gus, the T-Rex measures about 12 feet tall. It's about 63% complete, discovered on a South Dakota ranch, and it dates back 67 million years. Dave Packer, ABC News.
At 5:02, will we finally get to ditch the switch? More on that coming up, but first, here's Nate with real-time traffic.
Thanks, Tim. Everett to Marysville, plan on a 20-minute commute with a solid backup from 526. Up to 528. Bellevue to Everett, Seattle to Everett are both 1 hour commutes. Everett to Seattle, 1 hour, 45 minutes from Linwood. And you've got a bumper to bumper backup from North Gateway to I-90. Northbound I-5 heading through Seattle, packed approaching the West Seattle Bridge or the Ship Canal Bridge. It's about 35 minutes to clear this. Bellevue to Renton on 405, 35 minutes. You're bumper to bumper from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. Then it slowly thins out before you're finally in the clear down near the VMAC. In Tacoma, we just cleared our stalled semi southbound 705 at your ramp to southbound I-5. Still backed up to 509, but that's going to start to clear out for you. And Tacoma to Olympia looking good at just 40 minutes. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
At 5:03, good evening. I'm Tim Hull. The U.S. House has approved the Sunshine Protection Act. The bill makes daylight savings time permanent and eliminates the need to change our clocks twice a year. Washington's Democratic U.S. Senator Patty Murray says it's a headache we don't need.
Any parent who has worked so hard to get a newborn or a toddler on a regular sleeping schedule understands the absolute chaos changing our clocks creates, and for no good reason.
The bill now moves to the House in May. The president urged Congress to pass the bill. A wrongful death lawsuit over the 2021 Pacific Northwest heat dome will move forward to trial in King County. A judge rejected efforts by major oil companies to dismiss the case. The lawsuit was filed by the daughter of 65-year-old Julie Leon of Ferndale, who died of hyperthermia after her car broke down in Seattle during the record heat. The suit claims companies, including ExxonMobil, Chevron, BP, and Shell, knew fossil fuels were driving climate change but misled the public. The companies deny those claims. Washington's fight over the state's new millionaire tax is heating up.
Supporters of Initiative 645 have launched a statewide signature drive to repeal the millionaire's tax. At the same time, Governor Bob Ferguson is campaigning against that measure, pointing to families and people like Nicolette Rowe, a mother of 3 who rely on state-funded services the tax would fund.
It was things like health care and nutrition support that helped me go to work, to earn a degree, and eventually to become financially stable.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Brian Haywood is with the group Let's Go Washington. He's behind the initiative. Last month, he told KIRO News Radio's John Curley they were able to quickly gather signatures to get it on the ballot.
The very first week, it just came in so fast. And the people that are gathering signatures were talking about the ease of which it was to get people to sign on this one.
They gathered more than 500,000 signatures. They need about 309,000 verified signatures. Secretary of State's office is in the process of verifying them now. A full weekend closure is coming to Seattle's busy Montlake Boulevard. WashDOT says the shutdown in both directions will happen between East Hamlin Street and East Louisa Street starting Friday night. Nearby resident Kathy Frank tells KIRO 7 TV she's glad big overhead signs at East Roanoke are going away.
It means that we have to plan more carefully. I'm hoping that the change makes it look less like a freeway and more like a neighborhood.
The signs were installed about 3 years ago and drew complaints from neighbors. In the first of 2 closures, crews this weekend will pour the concrete bases for 2 smaller structures. Montlake Boulevard will close again in August to remove the old sign bridge and install the new signs. At 5:06, your forecast for this Tuesday evening, clear skies, low of 58. We hit 84 today, and that's what we'll hit tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. Chance of showers, we'll see that on Thursday, then partly sunny by the afternoon, 74 for the high, partly cloudy, and 78 on Friday. Seattle right now, sunny and 84. I'm Tim Hull, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Money is money. You can do anything you want with it.
Oh, that's good. Wow. Thank you for that. Okay, here we go, everybody. John Curley Show. Whoa.
It's duck dodge today. Taking the boat out, Joe. The Wanderlust. Yeah. Nick and I are going to go out there. Look out, everybody. The only rule with duck dodge, Lake Union, is that just don't hit another boat. That's just the one rule.
Seems fair.
How's the weather out there?
It's great. Excellent.
Any wind? Probably not. No. Can you see?
I don't have a weather vane in here.
Okay. Thank you for that. Diving. You do nothing but complain.
Nothing but complaints.
Diving into the maybe the weather vane in Salt Lake, maybe. Let's see. We're going to really dig in here because here it comes, everybody. The 550-some thousand of you, I'm assuming all millionaires, or soon-to-be millionaires, signed the paperwork, get the initiative to be able to stop the millionaire's tax. It's amazing that so many people in the state of Washington, 550-some thousand that have signed the thing, what do they know that everybody else doesn't know? They sense that this tax is not just for millionaires. They know. They can smell a rat. So they now, at this point, the state of Washington is going to start counting them all to make sure they're all there. I think they need like 338,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. So Bob Ferguson announcing the launch. So this is it. This is the beginning. I thought it was going to come a little later in the month. But now this is the first salvo, as they say, fired over the bow of Let's Go Washington and everybody that knows that Ferguson and everybody else that says this is a millionaire's tax is full of crap. Here we go.
Court programs. It's wonderful to see you all. Look, Washingtonians are going to be
nice edit, Joe.
Thanks. Facing an important choice in November regarding the future of the millionaire's tax. It's essentially a choice between moving our state forward by making life more affordable for Washingtonians.
Okay, so we're going to tax. They think it's about $4,000, right? They say they're going to take money from those people, which they believe somehow that capital or money is just get it, that it's just there. Go out and get it. It's like picking mushrooms or something. That they don't think it's going to leave. The people are just going to stay. They're not going to do anything. They're all going to stay. Then the government's going to come in and take the money from them that they have rightfully earned, let's assume.
I believe it's 20,000, by the way.
Is it 20,000 altogether?
Yeah, I think it's
20,000 people?
Yeah.
Okay. So the government comes in, takes the money from them, and then they're going to make it more, they're going to make life more affordable.
Moving our state forward by making life more affordable for Washingtonians.
So make it more affordable. So what is he going to do? Well, they're not going to tax diapers and not going to tax shampoo. So that's a savings of $4 to $5. That's $4 on the diapers. That's if you need them. And then on shampoo, then you also save $4. That's a year. So add that. I'll go high end on it. I'm going to go 5 plus 5. So there's $10. Put that down. So I saved $10 because he's going to make it. So we're going to tax the rich people. I'm going to save $10. All right.
And giving 138,000 business owners a tax break.
Okay, so that's the B&O tax break. So they normally screw you really hard on the B&O. Everybody know how the B&O works? So your little cafe or something makes, I don't know, gross revenue, say $2 million. Okay, you make $2 million. That's your top line. Well, the state of Washington goes, oh, congratulations on your $2 million. We'll take part of that. You're like, well, whoa. That's top revenue. I've got expenses. I got to pay taxes. I got to pay employees. I've got utilities. I got cost of goods. Oh, we don't care about that. We like your $2 million that's sitting there in the cash rate. We're going to take a piece of that. That B&O tax is god awful. All right, so they're going to give a little bit of a break. Could be $300, could be $600, could be $1,300 or $1,500 for the businesses. So we're going to add that. Let's go high end. Let's say $1,500. I'm going to say 15 plus a 10. It's $1,510. All right, here we go.
Or going backwards, rolling back tax breaks for small businesses and seeing costs go up for Washingtonians. It's a choice between investing in our kids' education.
Oh, here
it's
we
great
go.
to see some kids here today, by the way.
Oh, my God.
It's a choice between investing in our kids' education and childcare access and affordability, or going backwards with cuts to education and limiting access to childcare. In short, it's a choice.
Yeah. So forward is government spending more money on stuff. Government spending money on childcare, which only drive up the price of childcare. Government continuing to spend money on its failing education system. So the amount of money that the state of Washington collects from all of us to pour into its failing school system, Chris Rakedahl, we want more of it, because apparently the more money we give you, the better you do. And you moving the goalposts around and telling everybody, oh no, they don't have 60% not reading or doing math at grade level. It's not as bad as it looks. They just move the goalposts around on some of this sort of stuff. So they need to take more of your money to pour into the school system. And if they don't tax the millionaires, then all of a sudden we're going to have the kids won't do as well. Could they do worse? Washington spends roughly 28% more per student than they did 5 years ago And they still haven't gotten back to the 2019 reading and math levels. Washington's private schools have grown 26% in the state of Washington, 8% nationally. So like 50,000 kids, their parents have pulled them out of the school. And Chris Raytall says, well, that's because they're having less kids. The population is going down. Yeah, the population is going down everywhere in the United States. So let's just keep that number as a standard. So yes, it's going down across the United States. But why do you have more leaving in the state of Washington? Customers are leaving at 3 times the average that they give a parent as a customer with their kids. 3 times the average is what's happening nationally. But they don't say, well, we had a problem. They just say, well, we're going to just sort of measure the product differently. All right, here we go. Keep going, Bob.
Between the future and the past.
Yeah.
I am confident Washingtonians will see through this attempt to roll back our progress, because that's what they have.
What progress? What progress? You have a deficit. You're taxing more and taking more. You're spending more. What progress have you made? Progress in schools? You've made progress there. By the way, there's 10,000 kids unaccounted for. They don't know where they are. There's no truancy laws. They don't enforce any of that sort of stuff. Where are they? Completely dropped out of the system. Just gone. Disconnected. Because we were one of the last states to allow kids to come back because the unions wanted to make sure Bob was, Inslee was doing what they wanted him to do.
Done before.
Yeah.
Hedge manager Brian Haywood is, of course, behind this initiative. It is not his first rodeo.
No, Brian Hayward put up his own money, Bob, and then he got over 550-some thousand signatures. And if you had the thing going on longer, you would have even more signatures. Hayward wanted to get to more than 600,000 signatures because that would have been the record. If that thing had gone for another week or 3 weeks, you would have had 1 million. So Brian Hayward, who, yes, smart guy, makes a lot of money. You think this is his thing, that he just wants to do this?
This initiative. It is not his first rodeo.
Right. His other rodeos cost him personally more than $4 million or more. I don't even know the exact number because he won't tell me. His own money. And he could easily leave. He could go back to Japan. He could sell his house. He could just say, see you later. And I asked him, why don't you just quit? Brian, why are you spending your own money on this stuff? And he said, because it's the principle. I love the state of Washington. I can't have these guys win. Not for him. What is it going to... He's not making money on this. He's not saving money. He's spending his own.
3 prior attempts he has made to roll back progress in Washington state. Capital gains tax. He put that in the ballot.
By the way, you changed, your capital gains. How's that doing for you too, Bob? Are you still getting as much money as you did prior? Your first year you did. And then what happened? Oh, that's right. Jeff Bezos left. And that's right, Howard Schultz left. Oh, that's right, you lose all these guys that have all these capital gains. You're not making as much as you thought you were. Why? And you tie part of your budget to capital gains when the thing fluctuates wildly every single year? The reason it went up this year is because the stock market did so well.
64% of Washingtonians rejected his attempt to roll that back. Mm-hmm. The Climate Commitment Act. Once again, over 60% of Washingtonians rejected his attempt to roll that back.
Boy, I bet they regret that when they pay 55 cents additional. And you take that money, Bob, and everybody else, this really pisses me off. You take that money and you give it to all of these ridiculous NGOs, and they waste it. $260,000 for some ridiculous NGO. They all meet, like 30 of them meet. They go somewhere and they come up with a bunch of stupid stuff. They don't do anything to reduce the CO2. The millions and millions, the billions of dollars that are going into Washington, out of our pockets, into our gas tank, and then to Olympia. And then Olympia doles them all out to all of these just ridiculous nonprofits that don't do jack crap. And you're like, 68% of people wanted that. Did they want that? They wanted to get fleeced every time they went to the gas station?
Washington Cares. 55% of Washingtonians rejected that attempt to roll back progress. In other words, he's 0 for 3. He is struck out. He's back at the plate again, which is absolutely his right. But it is clear that while Brian Haywood has a vision for this state, it just happens to be a vision that the people of Washington repeatedly reject overwhelmingly. that average rejection is 60%. It is difficult in today's society that is very divided to find 60% of the people of any state who agree on anything. But each time they agree on is that vision is not the vision they want.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. The last time they had an income tax, what was that, 90, what year was that? 2000, what year was that? Hang on. It had to have been 2010? 2010. Was it 2010? Income tax.
Come on,
63 or 68% of the people rejected it. Because it's been about 8 times we've had the state income tax come
I
before.
think this would be the 11.
Right, but so it was, what year was that one? Because I remember running into Bill Gates Sr. down at the bakery, giving him a piece of my mind. All right, so now it's on. Fine, you find it.
The millionaire's tax is a 9.9% income tax on anyone or household earning more than $1 million each year. Founder of Let's Go Washington, Brian Haywood, is hoping voters back him in repealing it this fall. He says otherwise he worries the state will lose business and people.
I don't think it's great to go and just let everything go to hell and then go, maybe we can fix it out of the ashes.
The initiative repeals the income tax portion but keeps other parts intact, like a sales tax exemption for products such as diapers and over-the-counter drugs.
Right.
That's why Washington House Majority Leader Joe Fitzgibbon calls the initiative dangerous.
If you keep all of the tax cuts and you don't apply the new tax to millionaire income, there's no way to balance the budget without really devastating cuts to education and likely other tax increases.
They've been spending like drunken sailors for the last 40 years, and we have this.
Hey, that's not fair to drunken sailors.
Or Joe Fitzgibbon.
That's right. Huge deficit. They're spending money that they don't even have yet.
Haywood says he knows most people in the state are not millionaires, but tells me the prospect of the tax eventually applying to more tax brackets is motivating people to get behind the repeal.
It's not about rich guys. This is about unlocking the gate so they can tax everybody, so they can tax the pensions.
That's right. That's right. Insatiable appetite. Como asked Jamie Peterson, who leads the Senate there, if eventually taxing people making less than $1 million is the plan. Oh, this would be good.
Is that the plan?
No, there's not support in the legislature. There's not support from the governor. There's not support in the public to apply this tax to people who make less than $1 million per year.
And with
there's not support. Interesting. No, I can tell you without hesitation, we will never tax anybody making any household making under $1 million. You have my word on it. We will never, ever do that. Never. There's not support.
In the legislature.
There's not support. Interesting, right?
To apply this tax to people who make less than $1 million per year.
And with more than 511,000 signatures turned in, presumably more than enough to make the ballot this November, Haywood is confident the people of Washington are backing the initiative.
Not one of them believes that this tax is going to stay at the $1 million level.
Right.
And it's not a millionaire's tax. It's a tax on everybody. They just gave a deduction for now.
I think that it's a testament to how much interest there is in the topic that they got that many signatures.
Why is there interest? That's funny. There's some real interest. I don't know. Let me see. I put my name down. I'll put your phone number, my address. Yeah, I'm sort of interested. I'm kind of half on the, see how it shakes out. Just
signature curious.
Let me see. Yeah, let me just put that down. Well, I'm interested.
What a bunch of hogwash.
Yeah. Listen, the battle is on. So now this is the beginning of it. Get ready, everybody, because you're going to hear these ads going to be on TV and radio, and all you got to do is who's paying for them? SEIU 770. Yes, we want more of your money. We want to be able to get more money in Olympia. And what are we going to do with all that money? Well, we don't know yet, but we can't wait to get more of that money. We're going to tax those rich people that aren't paying their fair share. We're just going to ask them to contribute a little bit more. I love that word, ask. We're going to ask them. This isn't even ask. Would you care for some more coffee? No, thanks. I just thought I'd ask. Okay, I don't need any more. Would you care to give some more money on your? Nope. No, I wouldn't. But thanks for asking. We're going to ask them to pay their fair share. I love that. The words are always so interesting, aren't they? Right? Well, right now there isn't a lot of support for that. But all of a sudden, we could have a serious problem here. People are leaving These guys know it. Bob Ferguson knows it. It was, I think, Howard Schultz wrote another article in the Wall Street Journal. Same thing, warning them, guys, it's coming. People are leaving. Businesses are going. They're not coming here. You're just spending and spending and spending more and more, and you're going to be in some deep doo-doo. We got to get that guy we had on from GeekWire. He went to Cleveland, didn't he?
Yes.
And today there's an article, I think it might be in The Economist, that Cleveland, if you want to see how to bring a city back, look at Cleveland. They have gone in there and they've cut red tape. They have made government so much easier to work with to start a business. And they're like, we're going to put a stake in the ground and we want to come back strong and we want to attract all these businesses. So every time the state of Washington comes up with this mumbo jumbo stuff about we need to move forward, people are like, yeah, move forward to the east, move to Utah, move to Memphis, move to Cleveland, come to South Carolina, North Carolina, come to Florida, come to Texas. You want to move? You don't want to move backwards? Then move to the east. And people are, because people can leave and they will take their money with them. Why would they stay? And I still don't understand why Brian Haywood stays. I don't get it. And I've said to him, you will probably spend, it's not just the money, it's the time and the energy taking away from the rest of his business. He'll probably, I don't even know he's going to spend his own money. Another couple of $1 million.
Boy, is he the villain in Bob Ferguson?
Oh, of course he's going to be. They're going to have pictures of him in black and white, really scary stuff.
He's up on a dartboard somewhere.
Oh, yeah. They're going to do a black and white of him and then, ominous music. And then, they'll freeze a shot of freeze it.
60% of people hate Brian Haywood.
Oh, gosh. Here he is. Now the battle has begun.
Good time.
All right. Here comes Nathan checking traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. Seattle to Everett's going to take you an hour. It's slow from Northgate all the way up into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett has improved a 50-minute drive. We've got scattered slowing between Bellevue and Canyon Park. Coming the other way, Everett to Seattle, an hour, 5 minutes. 50 from Linwood. You've got a bumper-to-bumper grind from Northgate Way all the way to I-90. Everett to Bellevue, 50 minutes, 40 from Linwood, and it's packed between Alderwood and Canyon Park, and then it opens up for you, and you're all clear till you reach 520. From there, it's bumper-to-bumper down to the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton, another 35 minutes. North 5 in through downtown Seattle, packed from the Michigan Curve now up to the Ship Canal Bridge. About 35 minutes to clear this. And crossing the lake into Seattle, westbound 90 is bumper-to-bumper from Island Crest Way all the way to I-5. Westbound 520 is solid from 84th to I-5. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Back at Nate Connor, when it comes to your AC, if it starts acting up, it's supposed to get hot, really hot the next couple of days, right? The first thought is always, well, guess we need a whole new system. Oh my gosh, what's that going to cost? That's not always true, so don't just jump to that assumption. Home Comfort Alliance, they've got an approach that's simple. They repair first, replace only if needed. The technicians diagnose the real problem before recommending anything, because a worn-out part or a simple fix is often the best way to get cooling back up again and running without the cost of a full replacement. Now, if you do need something new, you want to ask about a heat pump because it keeps you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. It's all in one system. To find out the cost either way, you don't want to wait on hold or just start guessing. HomeComfortAlliance.com has got this real pricing under 60 seconds. I tested it out. It works. No pressure, no guesswork. Just honest answers from people that have been doing this for almost 50 years. For heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical needs, there's the comfort people. There they are again. Home Comfort Alliance. That's HomeComfortAlliance.com.
30 years ago,
I wanted to be part of keeping the Seahawks in Seattle long term.
3 decades later,
12, they're bringing the trophy home.
2 Super Bowl championship banners hang in the stadium Paul Allen built. Now, a new era of stewardship begins.
Most things that seem impossible become possible.
And we welcome the Kosla family to Seattle. From the home of the Seahawks since the very beginning. KIRO News Radio.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Robert. Robert, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
I heard an ad, and my wife and I had just got our policy renewals from our previous provider, and everything had gone up quite a bit, 30-40%, so I thought I'd give it a try. It was a pleasant experience, very easy. It only took a couple of days to get the good news back.
And were they able to save you money?
Yeah, we were able to save well over $1,000. not only did we save money, our agent found that we had some gaps in coverage, and they were able to not only save money, but improve our coverage.
Well, now you can be a good friend, and you can tell everybody about it.
Well, I have. I've, in fact, passed it on to a couple of my good friends, and they're taking the challenge as well. So it's been great.
Robert did it. My family did it. Now you got to do it, and it's totally free. Go take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you could be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value, and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today, and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour, and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only. Friday through Sunday, Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only. Friday through Sunday, Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
At 5:30, good evening. I'm Tim Hole. King County Sheriff Patty Cole Tyndall says her deputies have not been asked to help federal immigration agents. And if that changes, there are strict limits on what they can do.
Sheriff Cole Tyndall says deputies will only assist ICE when there is a judge-signed court order in a criminal case, but not over questions of someone's citizenship status. Cole Tyndall says if deputies do encounter ICE agents in the field, they are ordered to follow established protocol.
They are supposed to notify chain of command, obviously their supervisor immediately, but they know that they are not to assist.
Sheriff Cole Tyndall says the county has also joined lawsuits challenging federal efforts to tie immigration cooperation to federal grant funding. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Earlier today, ICE ordered agents nationwide to temporarily stop most vehicle stops while they update their immigration enforcement actions. The change follows 2 fatal shootings involving ICE agents in the past week. The puffin habitat at Point Defiance Zoo in Tacoma is temporarily closed after 3 tufted puffins died. Zoo officials say preliminary findings point to a suspected avian bacteria, a disease that can affect birds and, in rare cases, people. Tests are underway to confirm the diagnosis. The zoo says there are no known human cases and the risk to visitors is low. A bill cracking down on copper wire theft could get another shot in Olympia next year. King County Prosecutor Lisa Mannion says the measure, which didn't pass this season, would require recyclers to photograph wire brought in for sale and let police seize and trace suspected stolen wire. She compares it to the catalytic converter law, which led to a big drop in theft in King County. And Mannion tells Gia and Ursula she expects the same thing to happen if this law passes.
That is absolutely my hope. And if catalytic converter thefts are any kind of indicator, that's what we expect to happen with copper wire theft.
Mannion is building a coalition that includes Sound Transit and the State Attorney General's office to push that bill through in 2027. The rebound continues at Boeing. The company delivered 171 commercial airplanes in the second quarter of this year, bringing the yearly total to 314. This is also an improvement over Q2 of last year when Boeing delivered 150 commercial airplanes. This is the most deliveries Boeing has made in the first half since 2018. Pierce County deputies rescued a dog that plunged 40 feet off a cliff in Graham after chasing after a rabbit. A neighbor heard the dog in distress and called for help. The Pierce County Sheriff's Search and Rescue Ropes team hoisted a deputy down to the dog, who they say was very happy to see them.
You can't climb up for yourself, dummy. Yeah. That's what I'm here for. It won't stop licking me.
The dog, Nico, back home with its owner within a day. You can see pictures of Nico and the video of her rescue at mynorthwest.com. It's 5:33. Let's check in with Nate at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Tim. It's still pretty busy out there. Everett to Seattle, an hour, 5 minutes, 50 just from Linwood. You've got a bumper-to-bumper backup from North Gateway to I-90. Everett to Bellevue, 50 minutes, 40 from Linwood, and it's packed between Alderwood and Canyon Park. Then it opens up for you until you get into Bellevue, where it's bumper-to-bumper from 520 all the way down to the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. North 5 heading into Seattle. It's packed approaching the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal. About a half hour to get through this. Southbound 99, you're bumper to bumper from the Aurora Bridge to the stadiums. Northbound 99, solid from the stadiums to South Lake Union. Crossing the lake from Bellevue into Seattle, 35 to 40 minutes on either bridge route. Westbound 90 is bumper to bumper from Island Crest Way to I-5. Westbound 520, bumper to bumper from 84th to I-5. Bellevue to Renton is a 35-minute commute, and it's solid from 520 all the way to Coal Creek. We just went through that. Seattle to Federal Way is a 35-minute commute. Things are starting to thin out along South Center. This report brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY and Bradley Johnson Lawyers, serving the Pacific Northwest for over 30 years with hundreds of five-star reviews. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Your forecast calling for clear skies tonight and a low of 58. We had 84 degrees in Seattle today. The record high for today, 97. Set back in 1941. Normal high is 77. It's going to be warm again tomorrow, mostly sunny and 84 once again. Then a chance of showers Thursday morning, followed by partly sunny skies and a high of 74. 78 and partly sunny on Friday. It's 83 right now in Seattle. I'm Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
What are you working on over there? Oh, hold on a second. Keeney, press button marked Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. Thank you. Names of all the players are on the board. There they are. And it's spinning around. Lands on. He's not here.
It's not?
Is he there? Oh, here he is. No, sorry, I didn't see you in there, Nate. Nate, your Wilcox Family Farm Eggs recipe, please. The wheel landed on you.
Oh, that's great. Little thing called Loco Moco. You ever heard of it? Yeah.
Let's go.
JoJo knows the Loco Moco. Ooh, we're talking a nice little bed of fresh hot rice. It can be brown, but white goes better. And then you got gravy on there. You've got yourself a little hamburger pate. And then on top of it, a nice over hard egg. Or you can go sunny side up or over easy, whatever you like. The bottom line is it has to be a Wilcox farm egg.
There we are.
Bam!
Yeah.
Yes, sir!
Yeah, boom.
Moco Loco.
Yeah,
Loco Moco.
Bumper to bumper.
Or
Thank
Moco
you.
Loco.
Okay, stop.
Yum!
Yep.
Would you like to get 100 people in a room that listen to this show and say, what? Like, have you thought maybe it's you, that you're the problem?
Really is an interesting when people ask what you do and how they can listen. And
then you always try to avoid it. You just don't want them to see it. You're like, oh, yeah, it's a podcast. Is it a radio? Well, it's a radio show and a podcast. Oh, like I meet people, in other states. Oh, can I? And they bring out their phone. Well, how can I find it? And at that point, you're like, look, it's like walking into the middle of something that's been on for a while. Your friend's watching Netflix, and you're like, what's going on with the guy with the hat? So his brother, like 10 years ago, disappeared in France. And at that point, you're like, never mind. And then you just sort of sit there and you're like, what else is on? Right? Too far. Too going too long. There used to be a show in Mission Impossible. And my dad had a rule that if you weren't in for the very first part of it, you weren't allowed to come into the living room and watch. You're like, well, what's that guy upset about? Shut up, you missed the beginning. Get out. I didn't want to try to explain it to anybody.
Yes.
Because Mission Impossible, it was in the first 3 minutes, whatever the problem was. Why are they running around? This is after the tape caught on fire. They'd have to... The tape would burn up with the instructions.
The message will self-destruct.
Yeah, the message, and then you got to figure it out. No coming in the middle of it. That's the same thing with this show.
A lot of seeds get planted early.
And you're like, I don't know what it is. And I'm not bragging about it. I think it's a problem. I was trying to explain to Nick the other day, because she was telling me about some situation, and we're going to too personal for people. But I said, did you ever hear the story of the... HS Dolphin in 1767. It was a British ship that had sailed into Tahiti for the first time. She's like, oh my God, no, I don't want to hear about it. I said, well, it's very interesting. The men, they go there. There's a bit of skirmish at first, and then they settle things down, and the men then go to the beach there. The women are beautiful, and the guys are trying to, trade gold or silver. Well, they find out that the people there on the island, Tahiti, they don't want that. They like nails because they realize, a nail can be bent into a fish hook or some other tool that could be used. Well, then, as the story goes, at this point, Nick has left the kitchen. I'm following. So as the story goes, where are you? Where are you going? Upstairs? Hang on. The guys, whether it's true or not, they were so desperate for a little sex that they started pulling nails out of the ship. They're like, hey, because there was a trade, an easy trade. It was like, okay, a nail for a nail, right? So you get nailed, you give a nail, right? Well, and they ended up taking the nails out of the thing. They were ripping them up from the floor, tearing them everywhere they could, and then heading to the island and trading them in for a little bit of nookie and a nail, back and forth. And the ship was almost destroyed, barely made it back to Great Britain. She's like, I don't believe any of that. I go, well, you can look it up. But I was trying to explain, guys are just disgusting animals.
It's true. Wallace sent his carpenters ashore to cut the 80-some canoes there in half. Eventually, friendly relations were established between the British sailors and the locals, including Queen Purea. The relationships became particularly friendly when the sailors discovered that the women were eager to exchange sex for iron. This trade became so extensive that the loss of nails started to threaten the dolphin's physical integrity. Right.
By the time they got back to Great Britain or back to the UK, or Britain, the ship was barely held together.
That's right.
Yeah. So that was my story. And she's like, what does that have to do with anything? I said, because I'm trying to explain. That's why that guy did that. I was explaining men
now you know
to her.
The rest of the story.
She's like, why does everything have to involve like some history thing or something? Why do you always have to be on the radio? I said, it's fun. Isn't it fun to hear these things? Would you rather just have me go, guys are dogs? Guys are gross. That's what a guy does. Guys are gross. Guys are dogs.
It's fun.
Yo, bro. Guys are dogs, bro. This, you can close your eyes and imagine the ship. You imagine the guys pulling the nails out, running, swimming back over there.
It's fun.
Exactly. It's fun. Thank you. Yeah. So there we go.
HMS Dolphin, 24 guns, 6th-rate frigate of the Royal Navy.
Yeah, there wasn't much left of the nails there.
I can't believe that's a true story.
See that? Now I don't even know if it is true.
No, it is. I'm
Where are you looking?
I'm looking at Wikipedia.
All right, then.
The
There
whole
you are.
story.
For everybody else, if you run upon some guy that's being gross with women and stuff, just bring up the HS Dolphin. There we are. Fine. Got it? Thank you, Andrew.
I wasn't listening. So what happened? What'd they do with the nails?
They cashed them in. Women, the gals there on the island, they loved the nails.
Okay.
And they were willing to give up some of their purity for the nails.
Oh, man, I wanted to know,
I know
what
you
the
don't come
story
in the middle
was.
of the thing.
Well,
Andrew.
I was
You're not allowed to
busy.
do that, Nate. I know that. I know you're busy working on another recipe. All right, how about we listen intently? Can we, hold on, we haven't done this in a while. A bumper to bumpers. Joe, you got a bet?
Ooh, I do.
All right, I'm going that. I got mine.
Ooh,
Joe writes
yeah,
his down. Andrew, you got yours?
This affects the outcome when you say it ahead of time.
Oh, well, easy.
I haven't said it. I haven't given my bet. Okay, here we go. Here's Nate with local traffic.
All
Nate
right,
Dogg.
all right. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. 50 minutes from Linwood in the downtown Seattle. A little crowded in Linwood. And then it's bumper to bumper from North Gateway to I-90. Linwood to Bellevue, 35 minutes. We're heavy from Alderwood through Canyon Park. At 527, though, you're going to clear out until you get into Bellevue. Bellevue to Linwood is 35 minutes. Slow from Bellevue to Canyon Park. Seattle to Linwood, 40 minutes. We're slow from Shoreline into Mill Creek. Everett to Marysville, still taking 20 minutes. Here in Seattle, North 5, it is bumper to bumper from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal. Going to take you a half hour to get through this. And crossing the lake, we are struggling from Bellevue into Seattle, 35 to 40 minutes on both bridge routes. Westbound 90, bumper to bumper from Island Crest Way to I-5. Westbound 520, bumper to bumper from 84th to I-5. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
After the mild winter we just had, forecasters are predicting above average temperatures this summer across western Washington. If your home is struggling to stay cool, your attic could be the culprit. Jake Skorheim here. Poor insulation or no insulation in your attic can account for up to 40% of the heat gain in your home over the summer. That puts a load on your air conditioner and it can leave you sweating. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing has you covered. This summer, bundle energy-saving attic insulation with a new roof and save 10%. That's better comfort, improved energy efficiency, and less strain on your cooling system. Thousands of homeowners have trusted Valentine Roofing for roofing, attic insulation, and complete home protection because every project comes with the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. Plus, with no money down on your project, you don't pay until your project is complete. Call 206 Roofing to save 10% when you bundle a new roof and attic insulation. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Insulation rebates from PSC are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSC insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSC trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you crawl.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
All right, thank you for that. Advanced Hair. Thanks, Sean.
Woo!
Song from, I guess, the mailman?
That'll do.
All right. If we'll get the letter of the day first, take care of all the rest.
Rick from Bothell says, JC,
yes,
will you be doing a segment on Timothy Blackwell dying at Walla Walla Penn yesterday? His actions fast-tracked metal detection at the King County Courthouse. I worked with a guy. What a memorable day that was.
That was the guy with the mail-order bride. And
yes.
Then
Killed her and her friends.
Aaron says, is it just me or does Mike Rowe burp in that Pure Talk ad?
Don't know.
We're going to listen more carefully. Thank you, Hee-Haw.
360 says, God bless you, John. Your show is great. I'm not a fan of KIRO's other shows. Again, bless you with your amazing talent.
Well, thank you, 360, and bless you as well, and give all the other shows a chance.
Yes.
Oh, we wanted to challenge the other shows to a debate. Would that be fun?
Sure.
Yeah. Rihanna in Arlington says, man, do I just love the way Nate says bumper to bumper. By the way, the last one was four bumper to bumpers. I went 2. What'd you go?
3.
Oh. Andrew, what'd you do on that one? You weren't paying attention.
Unbelievable.
Honestly, if the 4 of us can't pay attention and we're getting paid,
I guess,
what do you think the listeners are doing?
I did have a guess. It was
One
0.
job.
No.
What do you mean, no?
If we're not even listening to each other, the people are sitting out there like, what the hell?
Can you believe it?
Have some dedication to
It's the greatest game in radio.
Come on.
Unconscionable.
If you were skeptical.
Oh, is that his burp?
I think so, yeah.
Let's hear it.
Oh, okay.
Skeptical, but
yeah, maybe. Thank you, Hugh Hall, for that. All right, here we go.
Adam's the staple driver says Joe and John in BC we're changing the fall. We're changing time for the last time this fall. So if we continue next spring, they will be an hour different there.
Thank you for that, Adam, the Staples driver. Maureen in Shoreline says, I love your dad. He sounds like watching watching TV shows. He would say, just sit down and watch it. Yes, that's exactly it. Just don't ask questions.
Heard it.
Got in late. You're too bad for you.
Heard it. Move on.
Tina on the 425 says, Curly, speaking of Woodrow Wilson's stroke, I'd love for you to tell us the history of the $100,000 bill in your own words. This show's the best. No bull pokey.
Okay, well, let's work on that one tomorrow.
Okay.
564, mysterious area code. It's awesome to hear about John's teenage stories about kids being kids, but what really stood out to me was the use of Metal Gear Solid 2 soundtrack song playing while he tells the story.
Look at that. Deep cut.
Look at Andrew, huh? Look at that. Look at 564 with his mysterious area code, identifying mysterious music.
That's from the PlayStation 2 era.
That's right.
Chris Soley Sullivan on the Waymo Sleepers says, this sounds like a perfect description of the Curly HOV equation. Cost of doing business, my friend.
There we go.
I'll get this next one, too.
Okay.
Biscuit from Everett says, when I think of explosive diarrhea, I think back to Curly's review of a SeaTac airport salad. Explosive diarrhea also makes me think of Sherry, who would crack up with each fart sound. She couldn't help it.
Yeah. That was the easiest button to go to on her.
Oh,
the day that we pressed that button, she didn't laugh. That would have been a sad day for this show. Worse than her being fired.
I mean, I didn't grow up around cornholes.
Wait, we're going to call her this week?
Here we are. We are. Okay.
Cold caller.
Here we go.
This is
again.
What do you want me to do?
Why is he always winning?
He's creative. What do you want to do? This is from Paul and Sammamish. This was on our Low Trust Society. He says Joe's Ancestry.com DNA results are finally back.
Okay.
He is 35% Alex Jones, 20% Art Bell, 20% George Norrie, 15% Gregory Rasputin, and 10% Tucker Carlson. Believe the science.
There it is. It's official. 23andMe. Thank you, Paul Mamish, for that.
Pretty accurate.
That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote.
So many letters we didn't get to.
I raced like 4 pages too. We still had 8.
Somebody's listening, but the rest of us don't listen.
Not Andrew.
Not Andrew. We have to go to Nate now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here comes Nate, everybody. Here comes Nate.
All righty. 50 minutes still from Linwood into downtown Seattle. A little crowded in Linwood, but it is heavy from Northgate Way all the way to I-90. Linwood to Bellevue, 35 minutes. You're heavy still from 405, the 405 interchange, all the way to Canyon Park at 527. You'll clear out. Obviously, there's something blocking here, but I've been checking out all my cameras. I can't find it. Here in Seattle, North 5, we're packed at the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. 25 minutes now to clear this. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, 35 to 40 minutes on both of our bridge routes. So westbound 90 is solid from North Mercer Way into the Mount Baker Tunnel. Westbound 520, bumper to bumper from 84th to I-5. Bellevue to Renton on 405, 35 minutes. We've got a hefty backup from 520 to the VMAC. And southbound 167, you're heavy between Algona and Puyallup. Everywhere else, we've either cleared out or we're thinning out pretty quickly at this point. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello! Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Wow, Sarah, these window coverings are gorgeous. Did you guys do this yourself?
No way. It's all Hunter Douglas. My local expert came to our home, brought samples, and helped us see everything in our actual light, then measured perfectly and handled the installation.
If you're planning a remodel, moving into a new home, or simply ready to elevate how your space feels, Westco Blinds, your neighborhood Hunter Douglas expert, offers custom, beautifully crafted window treatments thoughtfully designed for life. Whether it's blinds, shades, shutters, or drapes, our products fit your windows perfectly. And with smart home options, you control the light and privacy with a tap or on schedule. Hunter Douglas window treatments are an investment in quality, backed by a lifetime limited warranty and ongoing support from your trusted local expert, Westco Blinds. Call now to schedule your free in-home design consultation. Call 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455.
Jake and Spike. There's a rule. Noon to 3. If someone can do something about it, you tell them. That's a good rule. If they can't do something about it, you don't say anything.
Were they worried about the awkwardness?
That's on them.
Subscribe to the Jake and Spike YouTube channel and watch live or later.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandswimspasale.com.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water